Yeah, Mountain Dew, man. We are hanging out for some double trouble. I got my good man, Yurfatman is out today, so we're filling in with someone even better, KillaMcGilacuty. We're gonna have BoyancyofCitrus as our guest, which is gonna be great. I know that Fat Jolly Guy and a bunch of other people who are interested are gonna be popping in, and they're gonna be asking questions and weighing in on the topics. The topics. The topics gonna be here somewhere, I promise. Boom, they're down there. Topics are down there. I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'll come back with KillaMcGilacuty, and we're gonna be kicking some ass. So please hang out. Please join us for today's awesome topics, awesome discussion, and awesome guests. I'll be right back.
We've woken the hive.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Game over, man. I love that. Yo, Killa, I'm shooting out that Skype call now. Terrible dancer, I'm sorry. There you are. Yo, it's Infamous One. What's up, buddy? Welcome in, sir. Nice to have you. Gonna be muting the
Let's do this.
Going to Discord now. Dub Trub Discord. There you are. Yeah. Killa.
Hi.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm good, man.
Excellent.
Excellent. Let's get your volume up a bit. That's not your fault. That's me. There we are. Okay. For some reason, I hate Skype, dude.
Yeah.
If we could do this without Skype, I totally would. Advanced. It just decides like it's gonna take over, you know, like it doesn't.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
See, yeah, like I just clicked on the audio settings and now it sounds better, right?
It knew you were about to do some shit. It's like, hold on, let me
It was
act
like,
right.
yo, Sneak's about to get bad at me.
Yep.
All right, guys, can you all hear my good friend KillaMcGilacuty Fluffy?
It's a me. Killa.
Full screen. There it is. Wow, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. Wait, no, I said full screen, you son of a bitch. God, why would it
Oh
do
my
that?
god, my government name is on the screen.
It's continually full screen.
No,
Thank
no,
you.
no.
Okay, well, Skype is officially going to get replaced. Officially, can we try Discord chat? Discord
I'm
video?
Totally down with that.
Yeah, okay, let's try that because fuck you, Skype.
Right. Okay, bye.
And see, like, oh, dude, Skype makes me so mad. Do you guys hear it? Do you guys hear it? Like changing the audio?
I can definitely tell the difference when
Oh,
Skype is on and when it's off. It's
bro, like
pretty bad.
Like whose fucking idea is that? Let me just shoot you with actual. Where's your name? There he is. I'm gonna shoot you with a video call here. Boom, start video call. And then I can make you full screen. Yeah, see that? Isn't that beautiful? Wow. Guys, this is KillaMcGilacuty. I don't know if you know him or not, but you should know him. He's one of my friends.
I'm a friend.
He is a friend. I'm trying to make it to where I can see your face. There we go. Look at that. You're just a beautiful, beautiful human being.
Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you.
All the pros use it.
I got pros.
Leave Sky, switch to Zoom. No. Discord does the thing better.
Well, we
I
gotta
do.
do it like this anyway.
I mean, I could just sit here watching you dance like all day. We don't even need to have a talk show. Let's just watch the Killa dance.
You can't even hear the music I'm jamming to either. That's the best part of it.
I mean, it kind of works with what I'm jamming right now, so
Hell yeah.
don't be intimidated by the beards, Callow. There's one thing that I can guarantee you is that most bearded dudes is super friendly. Most bearded dudes is super friendly,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and they won't steal your women.
I miss to see your girl.
I missed her make some more coffee.
I have more coffee ready for when I need it.
Oh yes, well
You're G to G. In about an hour and a half, we'll be like, yeah.
yeah, more coffee. So, you know what's kind of weird too is like the camera that you're using
Mm-hmm.
used to be like my camera, and like it's funny I'm watching you through my own camera, kind of.
It's almost like I have your eyes.
Oh, give them back, sir. Give them back.
I can't. I like them now. They're mine.
Fine, enjoy them, sir.
I will.
Enjoy them. Guys, this is Double Trouble. Topics on the bottom. You guys can see that. We are talking about Destiny 2, which is the new Forsaken thingamabobber.
Can't wait.
Yes. And then we also have mods. I think this is a good conversation to have. People are always asking, "Can I be your mod?" There's more.
Oh,
there's more shit going on than that.
Yeah.
The integrity,
It really is.
the integrity of your platform. I think that is a really important topic. I can't wait to get to that. We're gonna talk about podcasts and why people should be doing more of that. Listening and creating your own, really, really good. We're going to be discussing community and how important that is to, I believe, not just as streamers, but as gamers, being a part of a community is like really, 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 really important. Can I be on your podcast? You are, Callo, like right now.
You did it. You made it.
Yay. Can I stop with all the caps? I don't give a shit. Do what you want. Caps don't bother me at all. But then we got our good friend BoyancyofCitrus or Floaty Fruit. He's going to be hanging out with us today. Going to be a great show. If you guys are out there in the Twitterville, you could tweet, retweet, double tweet, extra tweet, or super tweet our tweets. That'd be great. We would appreciate it.
My.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Cover your face up.
I understand.
No, sir. That's a terrible thing to do, and I'll never do it again. I apologize. But this is Double Trouble, and we are officially Fat Man free.
Yeah, we did it.
I don't know if you guys know how long we've been trying, but we are officially Fat Man free. At least for today. That was 2 minutes.
Coffee's ready.
Not 2 minutes. That's 2 hours on my coffee.
Coffee's been ready.
Yes. That means that the standard of excellence for freshness is just now starting to degrade.
Better drink that coffee.
I mean, I am, but also you got to realize, like, it's one of the coolest coffee makers I've ever had.
Yeah.
And it is beautifully, awesomely, deliciously, fantastically perfect for everything I need it for. Someone just asked to join the Facebook group. I'm going to go ahead and slap that guy in the face with an approval.
With a book. I mean, wait, what?
Wow, okay. 2 friends in the group? Okay, yeah. Approved. You're welcome. So what's first? Well, I think the first thing we're going to do is, like, hang out with you guys. Get a little bit of rapport going. Killa.
Hi.
My friend, good to have you, man.
It's good to be here, man.
How's your morning so far?
So far, not bad. Though I didn't get a lot of sleep. But hey, that happens when you decide at 7 o'clock in the afternoon the day before. You know what would be great? A nap.
I mean, I'm sure the nap was great. It's the timing that was the problem.
Yeah. Which I mean, it's kind of been my sleep schedule's been a thing of. It's just been a thing here recently, but at 8 o'clock when I got out of bed, I really didn't want to get out of bed. But I mean, because I didn't go to bed till 4:30 because I was up running strikes all night.
At least you're doing something worthwhile. Know what I mean?
Destiny is good.
I mean, you were doing something worth doing, so I'm down with that. I am slowly but surely putting everyone in the correct place here. You guys don't know, like, I kind of do this show by the skin of my teeth. And everything just kind of happens.
I am currently doing the tweeting thing.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna double check this scene, and then we should be good. I feel like we nailed it. Wait, what's that?
Oh yeah, it looks good.
What's that?
Oh, we can still have Fat Man with us. He can just be back there drooling all day.
He's spitting all over the place. If you guys want to hit a host to the channel, you'll be able to see also some more of the awesome Fat Man. While he's not here, we can still get a little bit of him as part of the show. Oh, Destiny 2, guys. Destiny 2, holy shit. The Forsaken update. I'm gonna say it's basically like a new game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Much like The Taken King. when Taken King came out, year 2 Destiny, it just completely changed the game.
Exactly.
And here we grow again. Destiny 2 doing exactly the same thing. You know, year 1 was like, okay, here's a beta, but not really.
Right.
And
I
now
mean,
here we are getting the. I'm having I'm having a great time,
dude. Just oh shit. Just like watching what like that little bit of reveal. Like they didn't do a whole lot of gameplay in that. As far as like, you know, let's show like actual like full style gameplay kind of a reveal, but like just the stuff that they dropped, the little tidbits, I feel like they like nailed the like what the community was asking for.
Sure, yeah,
like
definitely. But
Gambit looks really good. I mean, that as a concept, like that's really cool. Like PvE, PvEVP maybe.
Yeah, PvEVP or PvPvE.
I mean, just the concept of being able to like PvE and then go murder your opponents after that. It is going to be playable at GuardianCon. That is correct. That is absolutely correct. It is going to be playable at GuardianCon. That's going to be something that's really, really fun. I'm looking forward to that a lot. I don't know how long the line's going to be, but I'm going to elbow my way to the front of it at some point.
Yeah, same. I definitely want to get in there and get a few rounds in.
Yeah. Look for a couple of like IRL streams while I'm there as well. I'm going to be doing that for show. Where that is in the building will be busy, yes. But the thing is, the building is like a 30,000 square foot gigantic ass place. What are you doing?
I was trying to recenter my cam.
Look for Kevin pulling his hair out, and that's where it'll be. Yeah.
Better.
Yeah. Look for K-Madge, and he will be destroying what's left of his hair. Just keeping it together over there.
Right.
Something that I saw that really speaks to who I am as a gamer was the bow. I think I remember being in D1 going like, why don't they have a bow and arrow? And like the people that I talked to, they all said the same thing. They were like, well, I mean, it's not really part of like the universe, and I don't know if it's gonna be like exactly blah blah blah. But it's like, you got space magic. Like there's people like
right.
people throwing giant balls of void magic at my face. Why can't I shoot them with a bow and arrow?
Right.
Like, how did we lose that fucking awesome bit of technology?
Right, yeah.
But
what had to happen? It's such a primitive. I mean, when you think about it, a primitive
really
weapon has been the technology is lost to us.
Really, we can transmogrify matter through engrams, but we can't build a bow and arrow. Well, I'm glad after almost 4 years, 5 years now. 5 years now?
We're getting ready to start year 5.
Jesus. Finally, after this long, we've gotten bows and arrows, and that's we can resurrect the dead with bows? Nope. Exactly. Yo, Joe Dirte's here.
Question.
What's up, buddy?
Welcome.
Hi, Joe.
Hello, Joe. What do you know? It is Wednesday, and we're double troubling it. We've replaced Fat Man with someone better. His name is KillaMcGilacuty. That's him over yonder. Joe knows nothing. Just like Jon Snow.
Rip.
Poor guy. So, we're talking Destiny 2 right now. The Forsaken. The Forsaken. Is it just called Forsaken?
Destiny 2 Forsaken.
What is it like? Basically, just like year 2.
Yeah, it's Destiny 2 year 2.
I mean, honestly, like I'm just gonna say that it's the Forsaken King. Exactly. It's a new game as far as I'm concerned. It is a new game, kind of the same way that Taken King was a new game. So
right.
I loves it. It looked great. If you guys have things you want to discuss, about the game, please feel free. Chat is open for you. That's what it's all about. The Scorn looks straight out of Dark Souls. I haven't played a lot of Dark Souls, but they do look fucking scary.
Yeah, I don't play Dark Souls either for obvious reasons. The question I have, and I can't really tell based on, oh God, Joe, that's disgusting. The question I have based on what we saw, are the Scorn just another like brand of Fallen, or are they their own race? Because I can't tell.
They're Fallen.
So they're Fallen. They're just nastier with sharper, pointier teeth.
Random rolls is good, yes. I don't know, man. Like, I kind of feel the same way. They look like a really fucked up mashup between the Hive and the Fallen.
Ooh, maybe that's exactly what they are.
Maybe there's some weird, like, crossbreeding going on in that prison. Like, you know, when when an ogre gets lonely and a Baron decides to, you know, look beyond the usual species line. I don't know. You thought more Hive?
A man loves an ogre. Ain't no telling what the hell's coming now.
They describe that area as a prison. It could be a band of multiple species, like the Taken. I mean, that's very true. Like, it could just be like a faction of different races that have come together and like here's the thing though. They look completely different. Like, they may have the 4 arms like the Fallen do. That's what I thought they were Fallen, because they have like the dual upper appendages. But like their faces are different, and like everything about them is different. So behavior, yeah, even their movements. If you go back and look at the reveal, like even their movements are very different. So it could be faction rations that combine their foreskins. Exactly, Joe. I am so glad he's here to clear these things up for us. Perfect, Joe. Let's see. They're basically an ogre-looking Scorn. Who hasn't wanted to snuggle up to a Hive Wizard on a cold, dark night? I mean, for reals, though, you know?
Gonna have to pass on that, actually. I'm gonna find me a Cursed Thrall, because if it is cold, I'm guessing it'll keep me warm, at least until it explodes.
Yeah, until it blows up at you.
Yeah.
I want to know what that new emblem is I saw, the Sword and Moon. I think that might be, dude, that might be Awoken. That might be like the Awoken brand. It may be a whole new brand altogether, or it could be the new Iron Banner emblem, because the sword looked a little bit like the Iron Banner theme. I don't know. Heard Omnigul's a real screamer. You'd know, Steve. You'd know.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to a lot of things. Another thing I'm looking forward to, as far as that the Destiny 2 power level matters in Iron Banner and Trials again. Now, I'm not a Trials guy, but I do enjoy the fact that, you know, or I did enjoy the fact that when power level mattered in certain PvP activities, when you get, you know, to wreck the guys 30 and 40 light below you, like, it feels bad, but it feels good too.
I was a little upset. Like, listen, like there's a lot of things that Destiny 2 did right, but there's a lot of things that they didn't do so right either. And I think that changing the fact that power level mattered in PvP, especially the, you know, like once a month event of Iron Banner, like I thought that was a huge step back. I didn't like the clan engram thing either.
Like, as far as like, if your friends do trials, you get a trials weapon.
Yeah, like as far as like, hey, you know, there's a guy in my clan who's never touched the raid, but he has full raid gear.
Right.
I mean, it's like it's cool, I guess, for that person knowing they're never gonna be able to, thinking they're never gonna be able to like do a raid, and get gear. But at the same time, it's like, you know, like put some effort into it, man. Like take some time. Like you see this awesome raid gear that someone else is using. You're like, wow, I really want that. Like personally, like I got the rocket launcher the day the raid dropped, because there's guys in my clan that went and did the raid, and I got the rocket launcher, and like I hadn't even stepped foot in the raid at all. None of the in-game activities had I done a single bit of, and I already got the best launcher in the game. I just don't know. Joe Dirte, come back when you can, man. We love you, butt.
I see where you're coming from, and at the same time, like it never really bothered me that you know, people were getting gear based on my, you know, the work I put in.
Right.
The work I put in. With that said, though, they just changed that recently, so.
I mean, yeah, they definitely made that better. So that's a change that happened before any of this stuff. Callow hasn't done a Wave 2 past the VP. Me either. I haven't gotten past Wave 3 myself.
I've got like somewhere between 7 and 10 final boss kills on that.
7 and 10 completions?
Yeah.
Nice, dude. GG.
Well, you can farm the boss once you got to level 7. If you kill him right when the timer expires, you can, instead of resetting the entire event to level 1, it just goes back to 6. So you can farm the final boss. Now, granted, I only have the submachine gun, but still.
Like, that's what you're trying to do, though? You're trying to farm that boss to get better drops?
Well, I mean, I'm just so much what I was trying to, but
what do you
found
want?
out that you could do it.
What do you want?
What do I want?
Yes, which weapon are you hunting for? That?
The shotgun's the one that matters.
The shotgun's the one that matters? I saw people, like, really digging the sniper.
The sniper is a legendary version of Darcy.
Okay.
So, like, if you
use Darcy,
don't have
if
you don't have a Darcy or you want a non-exotic Darcy, then definitely go for it.
Exactly. So Shayru, and I mean, I know you know this, but like, raids happen weekly in the BLG clan on all 3 platforms. Xbox is struggling, PC is struggling because you're just getting people there. But you're on PS4, man. There's no excuses. If you got an hour free, talk to some guys because they're there and they definitely want to do it. Same thing with you, Callow. You know.
I mean, the first raid, like, Leviathan is good for a raid. In my opinion, I mean,
I like Leviathan. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got some unique encounters. I think Gauntlet was really well done.
You like the Gauntlet? The fucking
I like
the fucking
game
like,
show,
Destiny game show.
I love it.
I felt like I was on some like
good.
weird Japanese version of like Destiny, like playing a game show. It was weird.
Super Ninja Fun Time Go!
It was great, man. Like, I enjoyed the mechanics, the teamwork, and like all of it was really fun.
Right.
You know, I was always the guy that's like inside.
Pretty good.
I was always the guy that was like inside, like jumping. You know, like running the actual gauntlet. So, I don't know.
I can do that unless I'm on my Warlock. Warlock moves too slow, can't do it. Plus, my Warlock's mobility is like 2 anyways.
I mean, Titan Master Race, so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, in Destiny 2, Titan's really reign supreme, I'm not gonna lie.
Bass was... Dude, if you get a good team at Bass, man, like, it's quick and fun. Like,
yeah, Baths is just totems on a smaller scale.
Yeah, that's basically like for the raid teams that I usually end up with, like, that's our bullshit time. Like, we don't even talk about what's happening. We just call, like, okay, middle, you know? Like, we just bullshit through Bass pretty easily, yeah. I mean, maybe as far as like challenging, then yeah, it's kind of lacking some challenge, I guess. But I liked it. I definitely liked it. Not engaging. Yeah, you can definitely fuck off a little bit during the Bass. I think the dogs even have gotten to be so easy for me that like I just like run around going, you know, follow me, I know the way. that's all I end up doing when I'm in the bath. So. You know, I do absolutely love the raid. I love the raid. You said Eater of Worlds. I haven't actually gotten a completion of that yet.
Eater of Squirrels.
Eater of Squirrels.
Yeah. I like Eater of Worlds, but it's definitely not Spire Stars. Spire Stars, I mean, Vicarious Visions did a great job on that raid layer. I think it's really good. Personally, I haven't completed it all the way yet. I haven't finished the last encounter, but
right. So yeah,
I've done the rest
same,
of it,
same.
and it's really cool.
Yeah. Callo says dogs was interesting, but I still don't know how it works. Basically, what's happening is you got 2 dudes with magic weapons, and their weapons open up, will disperse spores from the flowers. So you are running through the area with your fire team. And you are looking for flowers who are going to disperse their spores. If the dogs see you, they attack you and you have to do damage. But your job is to run to as many of those flowers and collect those spores. The spores gives you a damage buff. The more spores you have, the quicker it is for you to kill your dogs. After about 3 or 4 different flowers, you can then attack your dog and kill it. It's as simple as that. There's 6 dogs, there's 6 guys. Everyone has their own dog. Boom, you're done. What is Pygmy saying over there?
I mean, raid with us, Pygmy, because we've had some pretty clutch moments, especially like on dog when you think, you know, everybody's rushing to get to the last dog to put an extra amount of DPS on it to get it in under the wire. Because I mean, if 5 dogs are dead and one's alive,
yeah, Bacon's like, I didn't get mine. I don't know where it's at. I'm lost.
like, son of a bitch. Everybody's rushing to try to find the dog, do DPS. There have been some, we've had some clutch moments. I mean, in Gauntlet when, you know,
you got to make that last little bit.
2 runners are dead, and the last guy just barely makes it out and slams the.
That's true though. I mean, I can see where Pygmy is coming from, because in some of the like older raids, you know, they were set up as like there's a hero, there's like 5 supporting guys and 1 hero, and as long as that hero can keep shit moving, then the support guys can kind of like, you know, die off here and resurrect that guy there, and die off here and resurrect that guy there. But if you have that like one dude who's like the fucking, you know, the guy that's taken, or the guy that's running the shield, or don't die, you'll be fine.
Wow, that water had boat in it.
Don't die, man. Did you try to breathe it in? There was one guy who's like DPS king. Yeah, like there was definitely a little bit different mechanics there. Did Killa put vodka in the water glass again?
I'm starting to think I should have, actually.
Yeah, maybe you should start putting vodka in that thing. It might go down smoother.
Holy moly, the water tried to kill me. Guys, don't drink water. It's fucking deadly.
Yo, Mr. Divvy, what's going on, buddy? Callow is excited for collections. I think that's a good thing. For a lot of people are collectors, and that is a huge step forward. Like, we've been saying, why isn't this shit in the game since D1?
Right. It's it definitely is something that I'm looking forward to. It'll help me maintain
organization,
my equipment better.
Yeah. I'm one of those people where it's like, I've got to pull up like DIM. I've got to have like item manager. I've got to have Ishtar commander, something like that, to like I can look at it all and go like, how does this work? Yeah.
Taylor mentioned the lore book. That's what I'm looking forward to. Like in-game lore.
Yes.
In-game things. You know, all that scannable stuff that's around Destiny 2. There's no reason to bother scanning, because you're not going to remember it. You're not going to, you know, there's a few things that I've scanned in the game that I really do remember.
Yeah, you were like, oh wow, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. One of those things being Ultra's ship in the new expansion.
Yep.
You know, that's one of them. But there's not a lot of things that matter as far as like minor lore that you find or scan, or you know, and you can't, like, none of it is logged, so like there's no reason to do it. But now we have a reason to seek out all those scannables,
and then you can go back and like, if you have it, like, because sometimes I know I'll be running through some shit trying to get something done, find a scannable and not listen. You know what I mean? But then there's other times where it's like I'm sitting in the tower going, what the fuck do I do for the next 45 minutes? You know, that at that point I could go back and like read what that lore was that I happen to have already picked up.
Right. Even
if it's just tracking the stuff, I reapply. I really wish for Grimoire back. I wonder how the collections will look internally in those books. I don't know, man. I bet it'll be fine though. Like anything is better than what it is.
Yeah.
Anything is better than what it is. So we're gonna move on from this topic, because we're gonna be probably talking with Buoyancy in about half an hour, and we're definitely gonna continue to talk about Destiny 2.
He's definitely a Destiny guy. So
yes, definitely going to. Something that I want to talk about is mods. Most people who are streamers have at least one decent mod. If you're lucky, you have more than that. They're kind of like I don't want to say employees, because you're not paying them, and they're not there because like they're like obligated to by, you know, whatever. But they're kind of like your secret team of assassins. I don't know. They're there by their own choice, and they really are making a huge difference. I know that recently, you know, I've been really thankful for the mod team that I've got when I'm streaming in the morning. Like, you're like one of those mods, so like obviously thank you so much, bro. Really helping the sharpshooting banhammer of God. Yeah, Shay Rue is doing great. You know, Hicker, Tessa, Bacon when he shows up. Like, all those guys are fucking fantastic. They really are helping a lot, and they make a huge difference in what's going on. But I think that a lot of people maybe they have a wrong idea of like what a mod should be doing or what a mod could be doing. A lot of times I have people who come in and they'll say like, why is that person's name green? And you got to explain to them, you know, like, oh, they're a mod. Well, can I be a mod?
I want a mod.
Can I be your mod? I don't know. It's just it's such a weird thing, because what a mod basically is doing is like not police work. I don't want my mods to feel like, yo, Moist Tiger, watch out, you're in the splash zone.
That's a fitting name for that.
It absolutely
moist.
is.
You're extra moist now, bud.
Yeah, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. I need to. I can't believe I did this the whole time. I didn't go to the right directory.
Oh no!
Yeah, I'm still sitting in fucking Far Cry 5 like an idiot.
That's fine. Yeah, no, I've been modding a little longer than I've been a streamer, actually. I think I got a lot of idea of how to be a good streamer from trying to be a good mod, and I mean, not to toot my own damn horn, but I think I'm a fantastic mod.
I think you are too, man. Really.
I know when to like let things slide and when to go ahead and pull the trigger. It's important to understand when people are not being malicious, and to understand when it's time to say, you know, that's enough of that.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's, you know, sometimes it's right to pull the trigger immediately. Sometimes it's like, okay, you let the troll be a troll. And sometimes it's fun.
It is.
It's fun to feed the troll to make him come to the trap.
Exactly. I like honestly, like, a lot of people, especially Killa, like they understand the relationship of like how the social kind of interaction should be, and like, you know, as a streamer, you know, you don't want to be like derailing everything to go like, what is going on with this troll person? Wow, how are we gonna deal with this thing? You want to have kind of an already prearranged idea with your mods of like what's acceptable and what's not. I feel like, you know, every mod should be very well versed in terms of service. You know what I mean? That's like your number one thing. Always check in terms of service. Hicker's gonna tell us a story about his troll. He had one come in and said, "Wow, you fat." I had one come tell me that I shouldn't be playing video games because I was too overweight. I should go be working out. Do you remember that guy? I was like, "Congrats, your eyesight is great." Nice. People they like number one thing that I think that mods are really good for is like, don't think of them as your police force. They're not there with a fucking badge and gun like trying to kill people. Like, your mods are there to like help you continue the stream smoothly. I know a lot of times, especially when chat gets a little bit dry, Tessa will come in, Killa will come in, someone will say something that sparks conversation, and the next thing you know, there's 5 or 6 new people join the stream, and they join to an already ongoing conversation. I think that's really important for like first impressions, to like show up somewhere where someone's already having an engaging conversation and already trying to like continually engage with their chat. So like it's I hate it when people think that their job as a mod is only to ban people, right?
Yeah, it's not it at all.
I mean, I know that like, I don't ban a timeout for the ultimate time possible. Most Tiger, if someone comes in with some like super racial shit, or someone comes in with like some just off the wall absolute garbage horseshit, like, I know and my mods know an immediate ban is required, and there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. You know, like, just to give you a quick example, one day I was streaming Skyrim with my daughter. She was like 11, 10 and a half or 11 at the time, and someone said, "Who's that hot piece of ass?" Yeah, yeah, and that was like, to me, I saw fucking red. Like, at that point in time, I think it was Sevelis was modding for me, and it was like, not only did that dude get banned, but he also got reported. And then Sevelis told me that he reported the dude to the fucking FBI. So,
nice.
I mean, there's definitely reasons to go straight to a ban, in my opinion, and that's kind of like that's the whole idea. Is you want to talk to your streamer, you want to talk to your mod team, and you want to like let them know, like, you know, these are the things I look for. Like Killa knows that if a troll shows up, it's not an instant. You know, we don't time the troll out right away. We fuck with him.
It's fun.
Joe Dirte is like, he's a connoisseur of trolls. He will eat them. That's his favorite thing to do. Someone comes in his chat to troll, it's like he puts on his bib and fucking sharpens his knife and his fork, and he's fucking ready. Like he loves it. He absolutely loves it. I think there's a lot of stuff kind of back and forth. Like, definitely talk to your mods, establish what is okay, establish like the procedure. You know, like establish. Do we allow this kind of thing happen, or do we allow that, or are we gonna jump right on these things? Or I timed out a kid before Christmas for abusive language towards a streamer for a grand total of 10 years.
See, you done fucked up, Aaron, because I'm the type of guy that will remember that. 10 years from now, I'll be back. Remember that time you banned me?
Oh boy. Oh boy, 10 years though. I mean, like, you may as well have permabanned him. I mean, at that point, right? I don't know. I guess it's kind of more about the principle, right? It's just the fact that you know that the guy's got 10 years of ban. So yeah, if you're go ahead. Sorry.
If you guys are looking for a Switch, you can buy one on eBay today for $257.
A Switch on eBay for $257. Just don't bid on it because you're gonna fight me for it.
Oh, no, I'm saying, like, I think there's lots of them, so.
Oh, word.
If you guys spare $250 sitting around, go ahead and pick up that Switch.
That way you can poop in Skyrim at the same time.
Hey, man.
Hey.
I poop in Zelda.
Poop in Zelda is cool, too.
It works.
Someone should buy me one. Looking at you, Infamous. Looking at you. Mario Kart 8. Oh, right, they got Mario Kart. They've also got, God, what's getting added? Someone told me something's getting added.
So September, there's a $20 a month thing you can sign up for.
Subscription, basically.
For it's like retro Nintendo games and things like that. But the games will have like online capability. So like you wanted to play Super Mario Brothers, the original SMB.
Yo.
With your friend, 1,000 miles away, you can do that now.
Yo, see, I'm not big on Nintendo products. I'm not like I've never really like I think the last thing Nintendo that I bought was the 64, and that's because I played GoldenEye like a mad mother. But like Nintendo's making some big moves, man. Like creating like kind of a nostalgic feeling for those old games, plus adding the multiplayer question to it is like. How much time has the Breath of Wild swallowed for you, Killa?
I want to say about 150 hours, but it's easier to put it into terms of completion. At this point in time, I have 102 shrines out of 120 completed.
Yo, Boyancy, thanks for the host, man. Appreciate it.
I have 102 shrines complete of the 120. I have 3 of the Divine Beasts. I've only got like 35 of the Kurok seeds out of 900, so I still got a long way to go on those things.
I mean, isn't that game just like full of grind too, though?
It's massive.
I mean, like
and
Zelda,
so
like
much to do.
Historically, those games have all been full of grind. So
yeah, I don't think any of them though have like they all pale in comparison to this Zelda.
Yeah,
like,
this one's even like on top of that.
Outside of A Link Between Worlds, which is the most recent 3DS or 2DS release for Zelda, I've played every Zelda game. That and don't count the Philips CDI one either. That's not real.
Word.
But I've played every other Nintendo game, and like this one is head and shoulders.
It's like the Final Fantasy 14 of Wait, is that the right one?
That's the online one. I haven't played Final Fantasy 14.
I forget which one you told me was like the longest game you ever played. I don't remember which one you said it was. It's like the longest game ever. Final Fantasy 7, maybe.
Final Fantasy 7 and that's just a good game, and it was good. It's a long game. I don't know that
Does it compare to Breath of the Wild?
And apples and oranges too. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I was
plays a
thinking
lot
like
differently.
length and depth and girth. Give me the long and veiny of it. Are they kind of the same in that manner?
I mean, if you're talking like how beefy of a game, like things to do, stuff to explore.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Zelda. Like I said, I'm 150 hours in, and I have not even come close to
Wow.
exploring the entire countryside, if you will. It's a pretty big game. It's like, and it's open world, which is a little different from like most Final Fantasy games.
Yeah,
like,
I did notice that.
Final Fantasy games tend to be open world, but still linear.
Yes.
Whereas, especially this Zelda game is so truly open. You can go anywhere you want to do anything you want, anytime you want. If there are people that have started the game and gone directly to Ganon and kicked his ass. 3 hearts, regular sword, like just you could do that. Now I don't condone that.
Obviously, that's like in the beginning of Far Cry, like not arresting the father. The game's over. Okay, you decided not to play.
Yeah. Woken the hive.
We've woken the hive.
That's the thing. That's the thing. You can jump right into Legend of Zelda and go beat the game right away if you want.
That's kind of cool that's like an option.
You can do as little or as much of the game as you want before you go beat the game. Essentially, now I'm trying to do. Maybe not 100% playthrough because I'm not gonna find 900 Pyrrhoc seeds before.
That sounds like a hell of a commitment.
Ganon. But I'm gonna get all 120 shrines and all 4 divine beasts before I go.
You're just gonna make sure you're geared up and ready.
Yeah.
I mean that's a good idea. Just want to make sure that I get through this mods thing. Tessa just did a perfect example of like a really good thing that like mods are capable of doing, and that is like kind of taking care of the things that are necessary, but also like kind of tedious as far as like if you got a controller in your hand playing a game, doing things like shout outs and posting relevant links and even answering questions that I miss, things like that. Like that's one of the things that like after a while you learn kind of like what the streamer wants and what they appreciate and how they want it done, and like that relationship grows as time, as you spend time together and as the mod spends more time in chat and whatnot. So Tessa, good job. If you guys need or have any more questions about mods, we're going to discuss a little bit of that probably with Buoyancy, but we're going to move on here to the integrity of the platform. I want to get this out. I'm pretty sure that Buoyancy will have some things to weigh in on. I know that Killa and I, just in passing, have kind of had a little bit of a conversation about this as well. Like the number one thing that I want to point out, and Shayru brought it up as well. Also, say bye to Pygmy. I forgot that. Bye Pygmy, I love you.
Bye Pygmy.
Catch you later, man. Thanks for hanging out. Keeping conversations alive. Exactly. Like, there's a lot of different types of mods, and being, good at one of those things is more than enough. The way that I choose my mods is like I look for what's already happening, and I reinforce that by saying, "Hey, do you want to be a mod?" People who are already trying to keep chat going, people who are already trying to answer questions, people who are already trying to help out, like those guys stand out because they're super active and they're willing to engage. And if you want that to continue to happen, then you reinforce that by saying, like, I noticed you're doing it, and thanks, and do you want to keep doing it?
Exactly.
So yeah.
The thing about modding too, like it's so like most people come into it with good intentions. I get that. A lot of times when people ask to be a mod, like outside of the people that ask and after being in your chat for all of 3 hours. Across 2 streams or something like that. Most people do have good intentions. The thing about modding though, like it's like you may like it feels like you kind of have like an in with the streamer,
right?
And in some cases you do, but it's really not as glamorous as a lot of people might make it out to be. Like modding,
there's definitely work there.
Modding is a lot of work, and it's more than just it's more than just a sword beside your name or a green name in chat. It's more than just a status symbol, and some people really do look at it just as that. You hear a lot about like vanity mods, and those are important. It's important to show love to maybe the content creators or the streamers who have helped bring you up, as it were.
Exactly.
You may say, hey, look, man, I want to mod you, not because I expect you to be here and do mod things, but because I respect you and you've helped me be who I am. And for that, this is just a small token of my appreciation.
Yeah, well, it's the only thing that you can do as a streamer to assign someone in chat a different looking role. Like if Twitch maybe had the ability to do VIP, like you could select 5 VIP people, then you wouldn't have to have the vanity mod or whatever. I was kind enough to give Shayru a chance. I mean, listen, Shay, what happened was you were doing mod work, bro. It's as simple as that. Yeah. You were doing mod work, and maybe you didn't even realize it. Maybe it didn't register to you as even work, because usually it's not. It's just hanging out and having a conversation. But also I respect you and I trust your judgment, and it just makes sense. The people who are already here making the effort, they should be the ones who are, given the responsibility of helping maintain the channel. Sometimes, for instance, I've probably had over the years close to probably 30 different mods, and some of them were just vanity mods, and some of them were I was expecting more, and some of them I didn't give them any expectations at all, and I've learned, and things have gotten better, and I think right now I've got the best mod team I've had so far. Ever, maybe. Best mod team ever right now. If I could sell you guys to the internet, I would say, if you're looking for the mod team to beat all mod teams, that's my team, and you can't have them. That's right.
Again, coming from, like I said, because I've been a mod longer than I've been a streamer. There comes a point when you also I can, speaking for myself at least, I can say that now that I am a streamer, I find myself doing less mod work these days and trying to focus more on my own content, my own stream. But part of me feels bad that I can't, or that I'm not in every stream as often as I used to be, and doing mod things as often as I used to be.
We can talk about it openly, yeah? I mean, is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
You modded for a partner streamer on Twitch. That was
I still do.
Yeah, and that's how you started, right?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, let's just put a pause on this real fast, because holy shit, Ludacris, happy fucking birthday, you dumbass!
Happy birthday, Luda!
Yo, let's get some love in chat for Luda. The dude's birthday is today, and he is probably drunk or getting drunk, or maybe
I was thinking with the glass of wine in his hand, he is definitely
maybe getting drunkerer. But
drunkerer.
Love you, buddy. Thank you for being awesome. Thanks for jumping in.
Proud
Happy
to call
birthday.
You a friend, my dude.
There we go. There we go. Happy fucking birthday,
has
buddy.
2 P's. Learn to spell, Killa.
That's fine. We can say happy is totally
Happy.
cool. Happy birthday. You're one of my favoriteest people ever, Ludacris. And I love
He's
you.
such a good dude.
He is. He really is. I just want to make sure I get some love in there from me. Ludacris, what are you, 25 today, right? 20,
yeah, easily.
26 maybe? 38. I wasn't actually asking for your actual age, but thanks for sharing. I really appreciate you, dude. You're a great guy. You're a very strong part of the community. You're a very strong part of everyone's community, and I think none of us appreciate you as much as you deserve. So, GG's,
sure.
man. Cheers. I'm gonna make a cup of coffee and drink it in your name.
Cheers, bud.
I don't have tea, or I would have tea. Coffee though, right? Let's see.
Coffee though.
Still steaming hot. It's been 3 hours since I brewed it, and it is still steaming hot.
Yum, yum.
I'm serious. Like, as soon as I start doing fucking finding a way to get like sponsors, like the number one sponsor that I want is Mr. Coffee, because that shit keeps me going more than anything else. I mean, you can keep your G Fuel and your gamer subs and all that shit. Like, if Mr. Coffee wants to at me, like, let me know. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
The stream is brought to you by Mr. Coffee because being tired sucks. I mean, I've already got mods like writing my commercials for me. Like someone needs to send Mr. Coffee my business email. You know what I'm saying?
Pay us, man. Somebody pay the man.
Okay, so integrity of the platform, big topic. We're gonna try and like at least touch on it real quick before we pull in Floaty Fruit. Mixer, I have not seen this. The terms of service seem to be pretty fucking straightforward at Mixer. There's not a whole lot of like gray area. I haven't seen a lot of this from any of the partnered community on Mixer. However, that doesn't mean that it hasn't happened. I just haven't seen it. So I don't want to say it does here or doesn't there or whatever. But like recently on Twitch, there was blatant and obvious violation of terms of service by multiple partners and a mod in someone's channel that has been documented and spread everywhere. Everyone has seen it. Everyone's seen it. Everyone knows what's happening. And Twitch's response was 30-day ban.
30 fucking days, Twitch. What are you thinking? That is insane to me.
That makes me sad. You know what I mean? Like 30-day ban. Like that's all. That's it. That's it.
They got a ban. They got a 30-day ban. Tesla.
30-day ban.
30 days.
They should have a 30-year ban. They should be fucking barred from the platform. I mean that like it is. It is not like it was misunderstood. I saw one of them post like we were just going in to see how toxic chat is.
Shit.
What kind of bullshit is that? Like I'm gonna pull my gun out and shoot people in this room to see who's murderers? You're toxic. Yep. You're the problem. You started that shit. Don't turn it into we was doing a social experiment. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You are racist. And it's obvious and documented and on the platform for everyone to see. You should get kicked the fuck out. You should be gone. You should no longer be allowed to make content on that platform. And any of the other platforms worth their fucking salt, wouldn't let them on their platform either. I'm telling you.
Yep.
They're shooting themselves in the foot.
Said it in chat is true. In the United Kingdom, inciting racial discourse.
Yes.
They will lock your ass up.
I just man, I just can't believe that like 30-day ban. Like
I couldn't believe it when I found out last night. 30 days. I was like, what? I was like, for sure they're gonna take these two check marks. For sure they're gonna be like, yo, man.
At least cancel their fucking contract with the partner program. At the very least, they should not be allowed to be representing your platform.
Yeah.
Twitch.
Well, we'll see what happens. My immediate response was, well, fuck it. Why don't we all just go to Mixer for 30 days and see how Twitch feels about that?
I mean, you know, like that's a great way to like show the power of the people. And I mean, honestly, like these people, they have to be losing viewers. They have to be losing followers. They have to be losing subs on some level. But I feel like so many people are going to buy into that, like, oh, it was just a joke. Kind of.
Yeah, well, there's people, I mean, even some of their own, you know, their community that are already
defending.
Yeah, they are already on board with, you know, oh no, I'll always support you, and you know, people are just butthurt because, you know, well, hey, it's freedom of speech, though. I can say whatever I want to. Like, calm your ass down. You certainly the fuck can, but there's also consequences that you are also subject to. And,
freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences for the things you say.
Exactly, and in this case, you know, these cats still having a platform after it's all said and done, because what's to say, you know, 30 days from now they're all back on Twitch, and then 30 days from that, they're doing the same shit but on the low, like in their own chats where it's hee.
Yeah.
No one's gonna report us here. It's our own chats. Hee.
Yeah, but it's
I
like
can be racist in secret. Hee. Fucking go fuck yourself.
I can be racist in secret. Buoyancy, yeah, we'll be in the Double Trouble Discord. I will pull you in whenever you're ready. Just let me know. I can't see it because I got Killa up, so let me know, and I will pull you in whenever you're ready. I think that in order to maintain Twitch's standard, in order to maintain their integrity, they need to do something more than what they've done. They need to do something more than what they've done. They need to like set an example for like what's expected of their partners. You know what I mean? If you're not gonna like do anything to your partners because they're the ones making you money, then like then you've already lost. Like whether or not you know you're gonna continue to make money is beside the point. The fact of the matter is like your platform has been compromised, and it is an obvious and open place where people can spread racial hate all over, without recourse. Without recourse.
Old lawless Wild West Twitch over here.
And I like honestly, like you would think that kind of behavior would happen on some of the newer platforms and not like the you know major fucking established people. But
yeah,
I mean, it's whatever, I guess. Killa, I'm gonna minimize you for a moment.
Okay, bye. Oh wait, I'm still here.
Yeah, you are still here. Buoyancy needs to be added to the call. That's how we do things differently. Am I your friend, Buoyancy? Send friend request. Please answer my friend request. Be my friend. And then I can add you to the call, but I can't allow you to be on video. You gotta just be on voice. Okay. So I'm gonna add you here, but what? I don't have any friends. Yes, I do.
Damn.
I do have friends.
Discord, you savage. How you gonna tell this man he ain't got no friends? That is wrong.
I like how it has your AKA right there. It says AKA KillaMcGilacuty and Paw McGillicuddy.
Yeah, Shayru. It unfortunately sends a terrible message to those of us on the platform that realize what happened.
I just completely murdered Killa right there. I don't know why it's not letting me add people to the call. I didn't mean to do that, buddy. I'm sorry, Killa. That's not what I intended. Sorry, bud.
It's fine.
I did a mean thing to you, and I didn't mean to. It's actually not letting me add someone to the call, which is weird. Because let me just check something out real quick, okay?
Okay.
How about this, Discord? How about if I close you and we start over? First of all, fuck you, Skype. I don't know what you're doing up there. Quit Discord. Open Discord. Hey, babe.
Hey.
Yeah, it's on. What's up? Where you going? Taking the kids or no? Okay. Yes. Okay. Love you. Alright, so BoyancyofCitrus did add me as his friend. I don't understand why it's not letting me add. That's so weird. It's not letting me add. Buoyancy. Add friends. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this without being on chat. Killa, if you could just join, the Discord channel, and I'll drag you guys in. I'm not sure why it won't let me add people to DM. It's allowed me to add people to DMs all the time. I mean, we've been able to DM people all over the place. Let's grab buoyancy. Yo, dude. Hey, man. We're having some issues, apparently.
Yeah, I was kind of getting at. I was observing.
Yeah,
so.
like it's weird. Like it's not allowing me to make like DM messages with like multiple people in it. Like that's just weird. That's just weird.
I have a feeling Fat Man set it up to try to make you fail.
Son of a bitch, you're probably right.
If I were guessing.
God. He's thousands of miles away, but still sabotaging.
Absolutely. That's his MO for sure.
It is. He's a turd butt. Killa, you're gonna have to join the waiting room and just do voice chat. I'll put you up here though. There you are.
There you go. Gotta have him up there with it. Looking glorious.
There he is. What's up, bud?
Yeah, once you put the picture up there, I figured that's where we were going.
Yeah, dude, for some reason I can't create a DM with more than one person in it.
Fucking weird.
Yeah, like normally what you can do is you can just like go to someone's name, you can hit the plus the person plus sign, but it's saying that I don't have any friends. And it kind of makes them sad. I do have friends. I'm looking at them right now.
Hell yeah.
I'm looking at them
True
right now.
story.
On a fucking great note, though, you picked a fantastic picture of me.
Thanks, man. That's the one I always put up. Like when we were playing Far Cry, I'd put that face on the other characters. But so we're here. We're live with Mr. Floaty Fruit. How are you today, sir?
I am wonderful. How are you guys?
Doing well, thank you. Good morning, sir.
I'm doing double trouble, which makes me great. I'm doing great.
Fantastic.
Let's get the easy ones, the softball questions out of the way. You're a streamer, yeah?
That's the rumor.
Yes, I've heard that. How long you been streaming, man?
I want to say my first stream I think it's like 3 years this fall, although that's me screwing around on the Xbox like once every couple of weeks. So I think it's really about like 2 years roughly.
2 years seriously, 3 years total?
Yeah, somewhere thereabouts.
Okay.
So.
Nice.
Okay. And so the name BoyancyofCitrus, you gotta tell us where that came from.
Gotcha. So if anybody is familiar with the comedian Mitch Hedberg, I generally can tell because they immediately, when they see my gamer tag or my stream name, they know immediately what it is. But it's essentially a reference to a Mitch Hedberg joke.
Are you gonna tell it?
I mean, I can't tell it nearly as well, and I don't have it memorized by any stretch of imagination. But essentially, he's on stage, he's holding and if you're familiar with Mitch Hedberg, he's kind of like observationalist, like one-liners and stuff like that. And so he's standing there and he looks at his drink and he's like, "Oh my gosh, look at all the limes in my drink. It's so tropical." And he's like, "Look at the limes floating." And he's talking about the idea of limes being essentially a flotation device. So he's like, next time I'm on a boat and somebody tries to give me a life preserver, I'll pull out a lime. And he's talking about like, if I fall overboard, I'm going to be saved by the buoyancy of citrus. And I just thought it was something funny. I've always thought the gamer tag should be fun and not super serious.
Yes.
Like every time I see something that's like XX Sniper 420 no scope, I'm like, oh my god, like it's a video game. Like,
you try a little bit hard there, pal.
Like it drives me crazy. So like, I think my first gamer tag ever was, what was my first game? I can't even remember my first gamer tag, but like the gamer tags that I've had prior to this was I had Picasso War Pants. And I had I Met a Possum was the other one I had.
Nice.
So, like, to me, video games are fun, and if you're taking things so seriously that you need a gamer tag that's like, I'm the best, or like, #1 Destiny player ever, blah, blah, like, I don't have time for you. That's
Lone Wolf, Sniper Jesus, 420 Blaze.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Unicorn Sniper 420 XX just Blaze, like, no thank you.
I'll put a link in chat for anybody who wants to give a listen to the original Mitch Hedberg joke, the buoyancy of citrus joke. There it is. Enjoy.
There we go. Listen to that and ignore everything I just said.
Well, don't do that either.
I mean, I'm gonna watch that anyways, but thank you
Yeah.
for posting that. If you could pop that into the Discord, the Dub Trub Discord as well, that'd be great.
I certainly can. Let me just copy what I put in chat.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, and the other thing is, before anybody starts telling me I spelled buoyancy wrong, trust me, I'm well aware of that, but I was one letter short, so the one that made the most sense to remove was the U. So I am not an idiot. I did spell BoyancyofCitrus the way I intended to spell it when I made my gamer tag.
So fuck off.
Well, I had an idiot one time send me a message after I wrecked him in Halo, telling me I'm an idiot, and then I pointed out that he spelled beans with a Z on the end, and it shut the hell up. So
Got him.
and he was like, "Fair."
Gotcha. So it's been a name for you for a while. Then is that the name you started streaming as?
Oh yeah, definitely the name I started streaming as. I want to say this gamer tag is probably 7 to 8 years old, I think, at this point.
Okay.
Wow.
It's pretty old,
Yeah.
like me.
Pretty old, like you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Are you as old as Ludacris?
I don't know how old's Ludacris.
He's 38 today.
Oh, he's older than I am.
Haha. You're an old man, Luda. Just get over it, bud.
From now on, when people tell me I'm old, I'm going to say, "Oh yeah, you should see Ludacris."
Not as old as Ludacris.
I'm older than both of you.
Killa's
In all
65.
fairness, I do turn 38 this year, though. I turned 38 in November, so.
Right on. I just turned 34 myself a couple months ago. So I feel like a newborn baby. Ludacris is granddad. There you go. So yeah, so we want to establish who you are, how long you've been streaming, what kind of content can people usually catch you playing?
Generally, at least right now, it's a lot of Destiny. Was excited for Warmind, and it's been fun grinding again, and obviously the reveal for the Forsaken.
Oh,
has been
yes.
super excited. So right now it's primarily Destiny. Obviously during the dry times, I will refer to those as Osiris. I did a lot of Fortnite and mixed in a game here or there, but like Destiny's kind of the reason I started streaming to begin with.
Oh, that was my next question. So good job jumping ahead.
I'm a mind reader. I know I'm the worst. This is why people don't bring me on shows like this, because all I do is fuck up the order of everything. I'm the agent of chaos.
I mean, no, that's a question for us because we've met so many people who have started their streaming journey with Destiny, and I'm one. I'm pretty sure Killa's one. Fatman. Most of the people that I know started streaming through Destiny, and it's such a crazy, kind of situation where a game like that can change lives, can legitimately change people's lives. That's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty unreal. Actually, not last year's Guardian Con, but the year before, Luke Smith was actually there on the floor the last day, and I actually got a chat with him for a little bit. And I know there are some people who are very anti-Luke Smith and stuff at this point, and certainly he doesn't really come off as the best representative of Destiny or Bungie at times.
I agree. Yeah.
So I'm not going to defend his overall persona and how he's kind of informed or given his opinions on stuff.
Right.
That having been said, I did get to talk to him for 2 or 3 minutes. Mav introduced me to him, and I just got to chat with him a little bit. And for all his flaws and all of Destiny's flaws, he seemed genuinely blown away, and just he almost came across as one of the fans there at Guardian Con,
right,
while we were discussing stuff. So while I'm not going to sit here and be a Luke Smith apologist, I'm not really a Destiny apologist, because certainly there have been mistakes made. I do think overall the studio and the people involved with the property have done, or they do care, despite what you read if you follow the wrong people on Twitter or visit subreddits and stuff of that nature.
Yeah.
So,
actually, it's kind of a side point. You just kind of brought it up though. A lot of people will say yo, Twitter's full of negativity, and Facebook is nothing but a bunch of blah blah blah. And it's no. Your timeline is full of that shit. If that's the kind of people you follow and people that you want to have on your timeline, that's completely up to you. If you got people being negative on your timeline, that you know, regardless of what the topic is, like you're solely responsible for them being there. So, you know.
Well, and it kind of goes back to what like you were having the discussion about mods, and it's like I can't remember exactly. I've heard this some version of this from various streamers, but like you get the community you deserve. And like to me, that isn't just like representative of Twitch; it's representative of all the social media platforms that you choose to interact in.
Exactly.
Like if you choose to follow people who are negative, don't be surprised when you see negativity in your timeline. and if you choose to follow positive people, like every once in a while, something will creep into my timeline. But like when people are like, "Oh my God, I woke up, I looked at Twitter, I turned off all my stuff," I was like, I have never woken up and looked at my Twitter and been like, "Oh, well, I got to disconnect because everything's awful." Like, I'm like, that's like, if that's what your timeline looks like don't look at your timeline and go, "Well, everybody is just awful today." It's maybe I should look at who I'm choosing to associate myself with.
Exactly.
Like at some point, like personal responsibility comes into things. Like if you have shitheads in your chat and you let them be shitheads in your chat, guess what? You're a shithead.
Yeah.
And it's the same way, like I'm sorry. Like
That's some solid logic.
I like this guy.
like I mean, just real world. Like you have the power to control what goes on in your chat, what goes on in your timeline. And if you choose not to do it and just let it happen, then you know what? I have zero sympathy for you.
I agree. Yeah, we've said it before. Like what you allow to occur in your chat will replicate. And
exactly.
if you allow your chat to talk shit on such and such, you know, even if it's a game or a person or whatever, you know, if that's something that you are allowing, then that's going to continue to happen, and it's only going to get worse.
Yep, I agree.
So, I mean, you know, as a streamer, especially when I was first learning, kind of first growing, like trying to figure things out, like I was so adamant about keeping that one viewer and that one follower and that one person, even though maybe they said some shit I didn't like, or maybe they were talking bad about someone that I know or whatever. I was so worried about losing that one person that I would just let them stick around. And it was a hard lesson, but you know, eventually it came to the point where it's like I will go from like your best friend to fuck off in however long time it takes for you to show me how stupid you are.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's one of those important lessons that I mean, people need to learn, especially if you're attempting to grow any kind of community, especially a positive community. Because, like, if you're willing to sit there and let one person be a shithead because you're like, "Oh, well, I have 2 viewers, and if I ban this guy because he's being an a-hole, then I'm only going to have 1 viewer." Well, what about that other viewer who's in there with him listening to being an a-hole? What if he leaves? Or what if by chance you get raided by somebody and they're like, "Oh my gosh, look, you finally have viewers and blah, blah, blah. I can't believe because you're playing a dead game, blah, blah, blah." Like, I mean, it's just, oh my God.
Dude, it's so funny, like because you're probably actually quoting things people have said. Like you're not just pulling something out the top of your head. Like that's probably actual like real life shit. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. No, I mean people like one thing every once in a while somebody will ask me, because for some reason some people are under the impression that I'm like some big streamer, which I obviously am not. But they'll ask me questions and they'll be like, "Well, how do I get to 3 viewers?" And I was like, "You stream consistently, interact with people, like be nice, like it's." Getting to 3 viewers isn't super difficult. Like a lot of people are like, "I want to be an affiliate. I need to get to 3 consecutive viewers." And I'm like, just keep doing what you're doing. Like people think it's like, just like anything, it's the same person who goes, "Well, how do I get to 385 in Destiny?" Play the video game. Like, like things are generally simpler than people make it out to be. Now, mind you, going from 3 viewers to 100 concurrent viewers, like that's a whole nother thing. But like getting to 3 viewers on most platforms consistently isn't necessarily that tricky. It's how you get to the point that you can be like in a range to be a partner that like relies a little bit more on luck and being a little bit more strategic. But yeah, it's just it's always interesting to interact with like either newer streamers or like that's why I found like trying out Mixer to be very interesting. Because obviously, as I'm sure you're well aware of, like the Mixer community is substantially different than the Twitch community, and I can only imagine what like streaming on Facebook would be like comparatively. Like they are definitely entirely different ecosystems.
That's very true.
From one another.
I think a lot of that has to do with the game you're playing as well. I feel like
yeah.
if you're playing Fortnite on Twitch, it's kind of the same thing as playing Fortnite on Mixer. You're going to get people coming in saying, "Can I play with you?" You're going to get kids coming in saying, you know, you're trash, and like it's kind of the normal thing, I think, back and forth for like the major games. But once you kind of like parse that out and like go down to somewhere, like for instance, like through personal experience, like I've been playing Skyrim, and I've been playing it pretty regularly throughout the entire time that I've been streaming, but I've been really digging in here on Mixer because I found something. Like, there's people here who love watching Skyrim, and it's completely different than the people who are watching Skyrim on Twitch. Like, completely different. So I do know exactly what you're talking about. The environments are much different. And Facebook, Jesus. who knows what's going on there? Like, I can only imagine, like... I'll be honest. I've only watched probably 4 or 5 different streamers on that platform, and most of them were not like pulling viewers. So I don't know what the environment is like in a personal experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk about that shadowy place over there.
I mean, like, let me just say, like, Facebook gaming can become bigger than Twitch.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of really, like most platforms, it's kind of about finding the footage. I mean, if you look at Mixer now and compare it to like Beam previously, which is essentially, this is like the next evolution of Beam, like what Beam looked like, what was it, like 2 or 3 years ago versus what Mixer looks like now.
Yeah.
The evolution is pretty incredible.
I mean, like if you were around Twitch back when it was like Justin TV. Justin
TV, yeah.
I mean, versus like what it is now, like, you know, I've heard of a lot of people, like, they're like drawing correlation between the type of growth for the platform, you know, Twitch or Justin TV versus Twitch, and then like Beam versus Mixer. So like there's definitely, you know, like even just on a huge scale, like just looking at, like, taking a step back, like live streaming itself is a fucking infant. You know, it's barely even alive. It hasn't even come close to its peak. Like, it's such a new thing. It's hard to say, like, this is how things are, or this is how things should be, or, you know, this is how it's always been, because it's so new.
Yeah, no, I mean, generally, if people are like, this is how it's always been, or this is how it will always be, but it's people who don't have an open enough mind to be able to take advantage of, like, an opportunity. Like, that's one thing I hear, like, when people are like, oh, well, it's always going to be this way, like, this is the only way to grow, or this is the only way to do this. It's generally somebody just making excuses for themselves. So, like, yeah, having an open mind, being willing to change. Like, I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think I've given a Mixer a fair shot. Mainly because, like, I love Twitch. I love my community. And I like Mixer too, but, like, for me, like, I'm definitely not currently in the idea that I would give up Twitch. But I do want to give Mixer a fair shot because, like I said, there's a lot of benefit to well, I'll be honest. The main reason I looked at Mixer as an opportunity was because I really like the FTL chat.
Yeah.
And now that Twitch has a low latency chat, I don't like that. Like, benefit is a little bit different now. So, but yeah, I mean, I really do want need to get myself back on Mixer at least a couple days a week because I do want to give it a fair shot.
Dude, like number one thing that I feel like is it outweighs any other reason, at least for me, you know, you can make your own decision, but like for me, what makes the most sense on Mixer is discoverability.
Sure.
Twitch is a system based around directories.
Yep. And
I don't think there's any way to get around that as far as, like, as a new user, someone looking for someone to, you know, someone who's streaming, you know, like, if you don't have a directory, you're not going to be able to funnel anyone anywhere. So, like, a directory is kind of the only system that works as of now. But being able to be seen, I think, makes such a huge difference. Like it makes such a huge difference. I can't even explain, you know, like my own personal experience is the only one that I can speak of, you know, in any kind of informed manner. So, you know, for me, I spent 3 years on Twitch. The last year as an affiliate. And it took me all 3 of those years. I wasn't. Like, it's kind of like you. I wasn't serious for the first 6 or 8 months, and then I kind of got serious for the next 2 years, and I really put an effort forth to like grow a community. And on Twitch, like, I think the highest number of followers that I got was like 1,250. I think that's like 1,230 maybe. I'm not sure. Like, that's not what I gauge it by. I gauge it by chat, by the engagement that I get with people who are like hanging out and talking and, you know, engaging and investing in the community. Like, that's how I'm gauging it. And as far as the followers go, you know, I've gotten half of the numbers from Twitch in like a month and a half.
Yep.
So I mean, like, that kind of growth is easy to gauge as far as numbers go, but I have had better streams, better engagement, and more fun with people on Mixer than I have had on Twitch ever.
And that's awesome.
And for me, that's what's going to drive my decision to stick around or to move back. And so far, it's been stick around. So, I mean, everyone's going to have different experiences, but for me, I would say the number one reason people move to Mixer is discoverability. That's a serious.
Oh yeah.
It's a real thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, absolutely, yeah. And I mean, it goes back to, like, I always tell people, like, you have to decide what you want out of your stream, like what your goals are for your stream.
Yes.
Like that's what really should play, like what you should be looking at when you decide to switch a platform.
I agree as well, yeah.
Like if your goal is, to your point, discoverability, growth, like right now, Mixer's a fantastic opportunity. Like, you are going to grow faster on Mixer than you will at Twitch right now. Like, that's just a given. Like, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that, just based on how many people are streaming. And I mean, to your point, like, all you have to do is look at sample sizes like that. Like, like you had Swolley on a couple weeks ago. Like, Swolley got like 6,000 follows in like a month?
Yeah.
Or like a month and a half?
Yeah.
And he had 10,000 in 3 years on Twitch.
Yes.
So, like, Swolley's like a perfect example of that. Like, Swolley is a super, like, and mind you, I'm biased. Like, I've been friends with Swolley for like 3 years at this point.
Uh-huh.
And he's one of my good friends, so I'm a little biased. So when it comes to talking about Swolley, but like, he's somebody who's super talented. I like, but he's just buried in directories and on Twitch. But that being said, after being on Mixer and even seeing that growth, like, he had to kind of evaluate like what he wanted from his stream.
Yes.
And like, he decided to go back to Twitch.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like, and more power to him. But yeah, I mean, it's really important. I think anybody, like, if you're not partnered, I would say don't be afraid to try another platform.
Mm-hmm.
But like, also don't be afraid to go, well, I don't want to be like, if you like Twitch after you've tried Mixer, like, stick with Twitch.
Yeah,
and if
yeah,
you like Mixer,
absolutely.
move to
Yeah,
Mixer.
no, and
But like, it's, oh, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, like, I feel like people put too much emphasis on the platform, anyways.
I agree. Absolutely. I mean, it's like anything. Like, people think like, oh well, I'm getting the growth at Mixer, so like Mixer's the right choice, and that's not necessarily the case. Like, once again, it comes back to, like, sit down and decide what you like. I always tell people to think, like, if you rated somebody and somebody was describing you, like, it's kind of like that old exercise of writing your own obituary. Like, if how would you like if you rated so and so, like, what kind of things would you like them to say when they talk to you?
Yes, exactly.
And I'm a big believer in that idea when you're kind of thinking about like what you want from your community, or what you're looking for on whatever platform you're streaming on.
Yeah, I think, like, for a lot of people too, like, you know, Fortnite is the thing for them, and like, someone like Swolley is a perfect example. Like, that dude's skills are insane.
Absolutely.
That's what people followed. You know, they weren't there like, you know, like just because he switched platforms. You know what I mean? They weren't there just because, oh, there's this new guy on Mixer now. Like, people came to his stream, they saw him kick ass. They were maybe even brought there by Hype Zone, whatever happened. Like, but they saw him perform, and they saw him as an entertainer, and that's what they followed. And that's the same thing that happened on Twitch. The difference is that with Mixer, he was able to get in front of more eyes faster than he was able to get in front of eyes on Twitch.
Absolutely.
It doesn't change who he is as a broadcaster. It doesn't change, the content that he wants to put out there or the community that he's trying to grow. Like if one of them speaks to you more than the other one does, then definitely, follow your heart there. Like, if you're just like so romantic about Twitch, you just want to bend it over and fuck it, then stay there. Like, that's obviously where you need to be. Like, that's as long as it fits your goals and continues to do the things that you want it to do, then why why would you change?
Yeah.
If that's who you are and that's what you're doing, then do it. But I'm the kind of person where it's like you need to commit 100% to it. You need to
Absolutely.
put all your effort there and like dig in. It doesn't matter which one you choose. Just choose something and dig in and like put the effort forth.
Sure. No, and that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. BFG pointed out recently he's heard a lot of talk about how Fortnite is the only way to gain followers on Mixer. BFG and I both are proof that's not true. I mean, that's 100%. I haven't touched Fortnite in months, and never have I streamed it on Mixer at all. And I mean, like I said, like the follower count doesn't really show, the success rate as far as I'm concerned. I like engagement in chat, and I have been able to have better chats and better engagement through Mixer than I've ever had on Twitch. And I feel like a lot of people on Twitch have followed me over to Mixer, so it's not like a huge difference in the community, but there are just so many more engaged people on this platform for me, and that's what works for me, and that's why I've chosen to dig in. I've built a house here where we live on Mixer now, and that's a as far as I'm concerned, that's where I need to be.
Well, yeah, and once again, it goes back to like people are saying the only way to get followers to play Fortnite on Mixer are the same people that complain about, oh well, I'm underappreciated or I'm da-da. Like they're always looking, like somebody doing that is always looking for an excuse as to why they're not being successful. Like if your concern is you're not getting enough follows and you think Fortnite's the way to do it, then play Fortnite. But like the reality is, all you have to do is go and look on the left side of your Mixer panel and see how many people are watching other games. And when somebody comes in, grab their attention. Like grab their attention, interact with them, make them want to stay or make them want to follow and come back.
I agree.
And if you do that, you'll be successful. And if you're going to sit around and complain about, oh, well, Fortnite has all these viewers and I don't want to play Fortnite, so I won't be successful, then guess what? You're going to fail, and you're going to fail over and over again, and you're going to be crying about it for no reason.
And honestly, like if you're trying to use Fortnite to get partnered and you're not Swoley Bible level good, then you're not going to make it. There's just too many other people. The directory is too full. The skill level is too high for just any Joe Schmo to go, yo, I'm a Fortnite streamer, and that's what I'm going to do.
Exactly. Yeah, that's... Ugh.
Also, Callow's back. What's up, buddy? Welcome back, man. Same thing you learned in grade school. English, if the opening line of your paper doesn't grab the reader's attention, no one will want to read it. Exactly. I've always pushed the people that I've been trying to, team up with and, make a difference with. I always tell them, you need to have a 30-second sell. You need to have an elevator pitch. And you need to practice it, once an hour during your streams. Hey, I'm the Sneak Thief, and we play video games. I'm playing Skyrim right now. We're going to be doing this for the next couple of days. I'm live every day, Monday through Friday, 7 to 3, and I love your butts. I mean, it's that easy. People who come in, if that's the first thing they hear, if you say that at least once, then they at least have an idea of what's going on. And being able to, quote-unquote, pitch yourself is really important because you want people to remember you. You want to make an impression. Like BFG says, the first line of your paper doesn't say, what's going on and make you interested, you're not going to continue reading. So
precisely, yep.
I mean, there's lots of different ways that you can kind of. I got a hair in my mouth. It's gross.
It's lovely.
Beard hair happens.
Story.
It's just it's so easy for people to turn their camera on and just sit there playing a game, and maybe they'll look at chat and go, huh, yeah. Or they'll go, yeah, I know. Oh no, this is the blah blah gun, and that's not in my opinion, that's not streaming. You're not doing it right. You are gaming.
Right.
you are gaming, and I feel like so many people miss that idea. Like it's a disconnect there. Like
I feel like that's actually needs to be your like overall motto. The sneak thief, you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. I don't know. Like I know that when I pop into Killer's channel, best checky facts. When I pop into Buoyancy, or I'm watching Fat Man, or I got BFG up, or Tessa, or any of the guys that I watch on a regular basis. Beast Boy, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate you. When I pop in, like, those guys are entertaining. They are doing entertainment. They're not just sitting there like playing a game, zoned out, mouth breathing, like, I love this game. like they are legitimately putting effort into engaging with people that are watching. Oh boy, someone clipped that.
Oh darn.
I just think like there's such a huge difference between streaming and gaming, and a lot of streamers get that wrong, and they sit back and they go, why am I not growing, or why aren't people watching me, or like, well, it's because you're not entertaining. It's hard to say that, to like just like call someone out like that, but that's the ultimate truth. That's what's going on there. Like people aren't watching you because you're not fun to watch.
Yeah. No, I mean, I always ask, like, when a lot of times, I'm sure you have these discussions with people where they're like, I want to make a part push, and they're like, so how can we grow? How can we do this? And I'm like, well, why? My first question, and sometimes people are like, well, and they get upset, is like, why should somebody coming in watch you?
Yep.
Like, tell me why, if I was coming into your channel, why I should watch you? Why I should stay? Why I should support you? What about you makes you different than anybody else in the Fortnite directory, the Destiny directory? Like, what about you is going to make me want to stay?
Yeah, and for a lot of people, that's an unanswerable question,
Yeah.
Because I think so many people are just basing their streaming around the idea of like, well, I'm just here to game, and we're going to play the game, and it's just the game that's the focus. We're going to focus on the game, and while that's important as part of your package, entertainment needs to be there. You need to have that engagement. You need to be able to like draw and attract and maintain viewers, like as much as the viewer count shouldn't motivate you more than the engagement should motivate you. Like, you still got to pay attention to who's watching and what games they like to see, and like who's talking about what, and there's different things that you have to pay attention for. And like, if you want to, like you're saying, push for partner, then one of the main things you need to figure out is like what value am I offering?
Exactly. Yep. And I mean, that's what I think got a lot of people in trouble with like Destiny. Like a lot of people went like service streams. And by no means am I anti-service stream, but like this was a challenge for me too, because I started out doing a lot of raid help, and I mean I still do some raid help, but like it's like I didn't want to be in a position like Swoley talked about it with trials, where like it's like, oh well, I'm not raiding today, and people be like, oh well, I'm leaving. Or,
yeah.
Oh, well, you already have a full raid. Well, I might come back later. Like, I didn't want, like, when I started to notice that being an issue, and then I would be raiding just for the sake of raiding. It's not like, I like helping people do raids, but when it started to feel like a chore, like, obviously at that point for a lot of people, it becomes, like, for me, I just decided, okay, well, I enjoy streaming. I don't want to not enjoy streaming, because for me, it's, like, fun. It's an outlet. I can interact with people. So for me at that point, like doing that, it just became counterproductive, because it was like, oh great, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna run 2 or 3 Oryxes, and there's gonna be one kid who's not listening. Instead of taking an hour, it's gonna take me 2.5 hours or 3 hours, and then somebody's gonna leave because their mic's not working correctly, or they keep getting disconnected, and at that point, I might as well go outside in the dead of summer and dig ditches.
Dude, it is almost like listening to myself talk here, because you're saying all the things that like I've dealt with. I'm sure Killa's dealt with it too. Like, sure.
I know I can say actually that I've never been a service stream. I've never even attempted to be one. I had a conversation yesterday about if KillaMcGilacuty was a service streamer, like a raid help streamer, like how bad it would be, because I have zero patience for bullshit. Like,
yeah,
if your shit's not working, replaced. If you're not listening, you're replaced. I'm not here
Oh man,
to babysit. I'm glad to teach. I'm good at teaching, and I have the patience to teach, but I don't have the patience to deal with the ignorant shit that comes along with being in a service stream. Oh, your internet fell out? Replaced. I don't have time, and I don't have the patience for that. So,
Sure.
it would be a very bad idea. And it's because of that I've never said, hey, it would be a great idea if I ran 5 newbies through the raid today.
Real quick, I want to say thanks to Bacon for the host. Pharaoh Crew, welcome to the Thieves In, man. Thank you for the follow. Everyone's doing great. Yo, what's up, Fots? What's going on? We got KillaMcGilacuty. He's our replacement host because Fat Man left us.
He's our upgrade.
For some, he's definitely an upgrade for some kind of sports ball game. I don't even know what it was. But we've also got BoyancyofCitrus here. He's our special guest, and he's more special than you guys realize because he's more special than you realize. You'll find out if you go follow him. You'll find out why. He's on Twitch, and you said you've been dabbling, I think?
I've done one stream, and I got 40 follows. So playing Overwatch, which I hadn't played in like a year and a half.
Word.
So it was kind of really weird, but that's why I really think I should give it at least a second chance.
Like, but honestly, dude, like some people will come in here and they'll see like for instance Skyrim. I'm gonna keep referencing that because that's kind of what I do. Skyrim, I came and looked at the directory and it was like the top 10 channels had less than 5 people in it, and I was like, oh my god. And like some people would go like, yo, no way, that's a dead directory, I'm never gonna stream there. But I was like, yo, that's a target for me. I'm gonna go take all their viewers. They're all gonna watch me, and I'm gonna be on top of the directory, and like I'm gonna be the first person people see when they look for a Skyrim stream. And like to me that's made a huge difference. I mean that visibility is always a good thing. And just to touch back real quick on the service thing, I still help people with raids, but for me, like, it was really making that evolution from, okay guys, we're in here, let's see who we have, who needs to go through a raid, to like now I'm a lot more planful, like, hey guys, I want to raid on these days, so I would like some people who know what they're doing, and then if there's some people who haven't been through it, we'll take them through it as well. So like it's like I come from kind of like a little bit of a teaching background. Oh yeah. So from that standpoint, like I still enjoy doing that aspect of it. So I don't want to make it seem like I dislike helping people do raids or anything like that, because that's still something I do on a fairly regular basis. But like at this point, it's about what I want to do on stream to some extent, because for me that allows me to have fun. And when I'm sure most people would agree, when you're having more fun, you're going to be more entertaining, and people are going to enjoy being in your stream versus watching you like pull your hair out on stream trying to like force yourself to enjoy something that you're not. Yes, and I think that like the number one commodity that every streamer needs to have in spades is being genuine, being real, being like who you are, you know what I mean? Like, don't put on an act, don't try and be something you're not, If you're truthful and genuine and you are just who you are, people will resonate with that. It makes a huge difference to just be who you are.
Can I expound on that?
Please do, yeah.
That's people might be like, yo, but what about people like Dr. Disrespect? And you have to keep in mind that Doc is likely just playing an amped up version of himself.
Yes.
On top of that, Twitch, and I don't know about Mixer, but Twitch I can say with absolute certainty is looking for characters like that. If you can play a character, but at the same time be relatable as a person and a streamer, you can actually do some work over there.
Something else too is like Dr. Disrespect got popular in the last year. What you didn't see was that guy streaming as himself for like the 5 years before that.
Right.
And
or even Ninja. Ninja was like in Lupo, like even Lupo, like, and I love Lupo. Like I met him the last 2 years at Guardian Con. Like I've always thought he was super talented.
Yeah.
But like where he is now with Fortnite versus where he was when he was in the Destiny directory is like night and day. Like you can't even compare the two. So like it's one of those things where, you know what, sometimes switching a game helps. Sometimes but for somebody to like potentially like discredit, like, because like I've heard this, like people going, oh well, Lupo's playing with Ninja, which is why he's doing so well. No, Lupo is an amazing caster and an amazing talent. And if you don't see that and you think it's because of Ninja, I mean, I've got nothing for you at that point.
Yeah, well, it's like Ninja definitely helps, but if Lupo was a piece of shit, it doesn't matter who he's playing with. He's going to be a piece of shit, and people see that. But Lupo is like a really cool dude and a good entertainer. So someone like Ninja could give him a platform. You know, maybe taller than the platform that he would be able to have on his own right away, but they give him a bump, and he's able to, you know, showcase who he is, and that's someone genuine, and that's where the growth is coming from, not just because he's playing with Ninja. So it's like, you know, it's kind of the same thing if you think about like the directories in Twitch. Like if for some reason, you know, like a really good broadcaster who would normally be buried 15 scrolls down somehow found their way at the top of the directory and was able to be discovered, they would have 1,000 times better chance of quote-unquote making it than someone who is just as good and just as entertaining and just as involved, just lower down in the directory.
Yeah,
they were given a pedestal, or they were given a step up, something that would give them the opportunity to be discovered. So I mean, Lupo was given the opportunity and then delivered.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, it always drives me crazy. They're like, well, if I had gotten that opportunity and not Lupo, and it's like, you would still be at like 300 viewers or 300 follows. Like, sorry.
Yeah. Real quick here, Fox says he's going to grab games without much exposure, see if he can get people to watch them, as it would only benefit the game's popularity, plus I get to have fun playing something I like to play. And that's a great mentality, dude. Like, if you go into streaming with the idea of, I'm going to make it big, I'm going to be a millionaire, then you probably will never play a game that you like. Maybe you can, you know, who knows? But like for the most part, like if you're going in it with that kind of mindset, you know, the kind like where you're going to play a game that's fun, that maybe is underrepresented, then you will probably have a lot more success if you than if you were to jump into the Fortnite directory, say, something like that.
Yeah, agreed.
BFG says, what most smaller streamers mess up, they think bigger games are more important, but in the big game directories, you are a drop in the ocean. I agree completely. You know, like, you could be one of the best streamers out there, one of the best entertainers out there, but if you're at the bottom of the directory, no one's going to see you. And I mean, if you think about how do people find your stream, people say, well, I post on Twitch. Yeah, are you putting your stream in front of 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 1,000,000 people on Twitch? Oh no, 204 that may or may not be actually following you. So like you're not really putting it out there. You're not really giving yourself the exposure that you imagine that you're giving yourself on places like Twitch, on places like Twitter or Discord or like any of the other places where people social media post their shit. Like you don't have a huge audience anywhere you go. That's the whole deal. That's what's happening. So the discoverability inside of the directories, you know, choosing the game to play, like, you know, Fott says that he loves that I play Skyrim. I love Skyrim. I've played Skyrim for years, like since it came out. I've been playing it all the time, and I may not be like a professional Skyrimmer, but I know enough about the game to like engage in chat and talk about stuff, and, you know, knowledgeable enough about this thing or that system or how this works or how that works or what's next. Like, regardless of like what's happening, I chose Skyrim because I truly do love playing that game, and I can play it all day, every day if I have to and if I want to, and that's what we're doing. You know, it's less about let's get Sneak Thief partnered and more about like let's grow a community around things that I love. And I think that if more people had that mindset, you know, then they would probably grow their communities even more. Yeah, I mean, and once again, like, it goes back to a little bit about what we talked about, like with Swoley, where you get 6,000 people follow you, but like his actual viewership fluctuated so much because it'd be like, oh, can I play with you? Oh, I can't. Okay, let me go to the next stream and let's see if they'll let me play with them. So Yeah. Pharaoh Cruz says splitting the fire team into 3 helpers and 3 people from chat. I mean, that's cool, Pharaoh. But like, what if you have no one in chat and you got like 4 guys trying to raid and like nothing happens? I think service streams, as if someone is only doing service streams, I think that especially since Destiny 2 kind of killed the trials and the raid carries and all that kind of stuff. Like, maybe not completely, but it definitely like cut it off at the knees. That those kind of service streams aren't really as popular or as important as they used to be. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, and definitely does.
Well, and the other thing is if that's what works for your channel, then great. Like if you have if your community, you have that community to support it, great. And that's what you want to do, great.
Yeah.
Do it. I'm just saying, like, from my standpoint and like the things that I've seen being on Twitch for almost 3 years at this point, is that while there are service streams that have gotten partnered and have done really well, there are also service streams that have who've gotten partnered and been completely like lost as far as partnership goes, like because trials got bad or people got away from the game. So like, to me, at the end of the day, when I talk about it, it's really important for me to be having, like, I just decided that my streams are better when I enjoy what I'm doing. And for me personally, like, running my channel like specifically like a service stream isn't something that I was enjoying. So that's why I altered or changed the format. And it's not to say that we don't do, oh, you need help with this? Okay, well, I've got so-and-so in here. We don't mind helping you run this nightfall. Or, hey, we're doing raids on Friday and Saturday. So if you come in the chat, there's a possibility we can help you through your first raid. Like, those events still happen, but it's not, okay, well, it's Tuesday, reset, let's take a bunch of people through raids, or da-da-da-da-da. Like, this is how I want to do things. Like, I have kind of a regimen of, like, this is what I want to do on Destiny 2. These are the days I do it. And actually, I mean, I know Pharaoh from Twitch, and he pops in my stream. I know him and everything.
Sure.
But he knows, like, if he asks me to raid on a Tuesday, generally I tell him, nope, I raid Friday, Saturdays.
There you go.
Because that's what works for me.
Right.
And it's not because I don't enjoy the raiding or anything like that. I've just, like, this has been what I've been doing for, like, the last 3 weeks with Warmind coming out. I tried it 1 week. I thought it worked really well, and it's been making me happy to do these particular things in this order. So that's what I do. And if that doesn't make me a service stream anymore, it makes me some kind of like combination, because we still do help people.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's what I enjoy. So that's what I like to do.
I mean, someone like Jay Sniperton, like, he hasn't stopped doing raids. He will go back to D1 and he will raid his ass off at D1. I mean, like he's the kind of person where, like, his stream may not necessarily be considered a service stream, but he does a lot of help. He does like a lot of help, and I think that's an important thing to realize.
He has a really good like the way he goes about it, though. Too,
yeah.
You know, like, he keeps, you know, it's him and I think between 2 and 3 Sherpas.
Yeah,
like,
usually it's him and at least 2
ringers,
helpers,
if you will. Yeah. And like, they're good enough to be able to, you know, for the most part, cover for and carry.
Well, the other thing too is, like, with Jay, I don't even consider Jay necessarily a service stream.
Yeah.
and the reason being is because while he does do these raids and helps people through raids, like, that's what he enjoys doing. Like, it's just like James Work and Clyde and, like, they like raiding 15 hours a day or 10 hours a day or 8 hours a day. Like, that's what they enjoy. So, like, to me, when I talk about a service stream, like, yeah, I'm thinking of somebody doing the service, but they're doing it against what they actually want to be doing. Like, to me, if I was raiding every day and I don't like raiding every day, then that to me is the problem with a service stream. Like, if I'm doing something that's counter to what I should be would like to do,
right? But like,
at that
even
point,
so,
it's a service. Yeah.
If you build your community on, like, I'm helping the community, I'm a service stream, and then you stop doing that, then there's pressure there. Like you're pressured into making that choice. Like, do I follow what I want to do and, like, follow like what I'm being, like, you know, drawn away from doing service streams, or do I continue to do things that I'm not really interested in anymore just because that's the identity that I've kind of built for myself? You know, like there's a lot of pressure there, and you know, I think number one thing more than anything else would be to follow what you have fun doing, like we've been saying the whole time. Like Buoyancy's been hammering into your heads, guys. You follow the fun.
I'm a bit of a nag. I apologize.
No, please nag. People need to hear it. That's what the show's about. You guys are doing shit wrong, and we're going to tell you how to fix it. I mean, thanks for hanging out, guys.
Doing it wrong.
Joe Dierte, yes, we're still live. Shayru, Tattooed Punk, yes. Fots says that Jay's community is building a Sherpa community for all the platforms where he won't even need to be there, and I think that's a really good kind of point there, because like he's not only is he like, you know, doing that kind of stream where he's running raids regularly, but also the people who are part of his community are learning how he's teaching almost, right? Like they're learning how to teach someone else how to do the raid.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's like one thing that I like, especially early on, that I was really proud of within my own community, is that we had people who weren't regular, like came in saying, "Hey, I don't have friends to raid with," and such. So they started raiding with us, and now like they have more, like they're regularly like doing raid help and stuff. And to me, that's super rewarding, because like that goes back to what Fox was saying about Jay and his community. Like to me, it's all about like growing the community. And one of the things that drives me crazy is where people are critical of other people in the community, saying like so and so's taking viewers from me and da 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 da. I can't believe they got partnered and I didn't. Da. Like that kind of stuff drives me crazy, because like I'm a big believer in the idea that like a high tide raises all ships. So
I agree. Yeah.
If people are doing good,
can you say that again?
So a rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah. What's good for my community is good for your community. My success is your success. It's all tied together.
Well, exactly. Like if you think about it, the more like if somebody's having a lot of success in the directory you're having success in, then that means there's going to be more eyes in that directory. So like when, for instance, like Jay Sniperton, like when his stream's over, he typically raids another Destiny stream.
Yes,
Guess what? If you're there and you're a good person, you could be raided by Jay Sniperton, or when Jay goes off, or Jay goes off, or Clyde, or James Work, or anything like that, and then whoever they raid, like people are in that directory looking for other people to watch. And yeah, it can be a bit challenging on Twitch comparatively, but like if there's 1,000 people in the directory looking for people to watch in D2, and they come in and you're entertaining, guess what? They're probably gonna hang out with you.
Yeah, and
Stop
like
dropping names.
I got my first raid from Jay Sniperton, Mr. Dierte. I got my very first like raid from Jay Sniperton, and it was because I was live after he was not, and I was playing Destiny, and you know what I mean. Like now, like I wouldn't say that we're like, you know, homies. We're not sending each other like Christmas cards and shit, but like, you know, we've established a relationship, we've established a friendship, and you know, I can almost always pop into his streams, and he'll pop into my streams, and you know what I mean. Like you know, he's a very personable guy and very interested in like, you know, spreading that out as much as we can. So like I think regardless of his content, it's his personality that people are really gravitating to.
He's an awesome dude, and I was so excited when I met him because he's my height and I'm short. So I was like, yay, somebody's short to hang out with. Let's go.
I had this feeling that I'm going to be towering over about 75% of the people at GC.
I mean, I'm thinking the same thing, bro.
The thing that's going to be hilarious is there's going to be people you think are taller than they are, and people who you think are going to be shorter than they are.
When I met Bro the first time, I was like, God, how does my belly button look?
Just wait till you meet Swoley.
No, like, he's gigantic.
He's like 8 feet tall.
He's
like,
fucking gigantic.
There's a picture of Swoley and me. And I always joke that we're like the movie Twins. He's fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm Danny DeVito.
Joe Dierte, no one said getting rated is pushing success. Not at all. Not at all. We were talking about how Jay is willing to take whatever he can. He's super grounded, amazing individual, and he will use those raids as a way to like help someone else out. And I think that's kind of the point about, you know, your success is my success.
Yeah, it's more about the idea of like, especially in the Destiny directory, and this is one reason why everybody talked about the Destiny directory being like kind of special with which is there was so much disappointment with Destiny 2 is like the Destiny directory really felt very communal, and it was really a lot of people about sharing their communities. So yeah, I apologize if my explanation got lost in translation. But what I was trying to say is it's more about like the idea of somebody else being successful in your directory doesn't mean you won't be successful.
Right.
Like, so for instance, like if I raid, like Pharaoh's in here, Pharaoh has a Twitch channel. If I raid Pharaoh and my community likes Pharaoh, chances are when I'm not on, they'll watch Pharaoh. If you're entertaining. And I'm a big believer, like I talk a lot about, like I don't pay attention to follower count that much.
Yep.
I like kind of looking at like viewers, like my viewer counts,
engagement,
more than my follow counts.
My favorite thing is people who
Twitch
chat. People who chat, that's the best thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of good analytics that you can look at now on Twitch, and I'm sure there's definitely some on Mixer as well. I need to poke around at. But yeah, no, I mean, follows are not indicative of like success. Like to Joe's point, yeah, 1 million follows doesn't mean anything if your viewers don't return.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
everyone can agree with that for sure.
Like it's and that's more of like the directory being successful gives you a better chance of being successful, but that doesn't mean that it's indicative of success. You could have two exact same people who get rated or by whoever, like pick whatever big Destiny streamer or whatever big streamer,
like getting rated by Joe Dierte.
Yeah, like, so say Joe raids me one day, and then he raids Killa one day. Killa, if he's more entertaining when Joe raids him, those people are going to come back and watch Killa if I'm on the same time as he is, because he was entertaining. Like, you don't raid. So that was more the point. Like, I didn't want... ignoring raids and everything like that. It's more the general idea is that you shouldn't be jealous of other people in your directory. Like, you should be supportive of other people in your directory because generally that's going to benefit everybody.
Right. And I mean, like, when I say your success is my success, generally what that means for me is like the guys that have been helping me and supporting me will benefit if that help creates success for me because they're going to be there for it. And I will therefore turn that effort back to helping them become successful. And it's kind of like a team effort. The point you're making about the directory is also super valid. I completely agree with that as well. Like, people who are successful in the Skyrim directory, I'll go watch them and I'll become a part of their community, and I will be happy for Skyrim, you know, and not just be happy for that person's channel. It makes sense where if there's more people watching, then there's more people watching, there's more people engaging, there's more people that's going to be able to tell their friends, yo, this is what I'm doing and you should do it too. Like, it's a whole giant, I guess, domino effect where word of mouth is the best the best method of advertisement. And regardless of where that ends up laying permanently, you know, if Joe Dierte can drop 10,000 follows and then raid me with 500 people, and those 500 people stick around, then that's worth more to me than those 10,000 follows. I mean, there's just no way around that.
Well, exactly. And if there's like 50 people in the Skyrim directory, 50 people watching the Skyrim directory, and Joe Bob, who had 30 of them goes offline. Those people were in that channel probably watching Skyrim. So what they do, they pull up the Skyrim directory and see who else is online. And if 15 of the 30 go to Sneak Thief, and Sneak Thief's his normal entertaining self, guess what? They hang out. They stay around. And that it grows his community. So using Raid might not have been the best example, but like anybody in that directory is somebody potentially that could be coming into your channel. So the more people in there, even if they're not watching you initially, the more beneficial it is to you potentially.
Exactly. There's so many different methods of like growing your channel and growing your community. And I mean, like we can get into those things. Like, you know, Kalla was mentioning earlier, like he was trying to say he doesn't have any viewers. And I don't know what your metrics are. I don't know how to like gauge that versus, you know, like, but like what I can say is like, you know, make an effort to like set some goals and make an effort to like point yourself in the right direction, and then like, you know, choose the best way to get there. For instance, like, you know, what game are you playing? What time are you playing it? How long are you streaming for? You know, like when someone comes in your channel, are you like super engaging? Like, are you having fun? Are you able to like talk in chat? Like, are you narrating your gameplay? Like have you watched your VODs? Like, is there one of the hardest things for me back when I was getting started was going back and watching my old stream, right? Because I hated it. Because I hated it.
Yeah, it's brutal.
And you know what changed my mind is like I learned what it was I hated about my streams, and I fixed it. I changed it. I figured out a way to get past that. And now when I go back and watch my VODs, I crack myself up. I'm fucking awesome. I like, honestly, I like watching myself. I'm great. I'm hilarious. And fuck whoever thinks I'm not. Like, that's like you can't live your life like constantly downing yourself. Like, and if you can find ways to improve, then take that chance, take that risk, make that effort, and improve, get better. You know, find things about yourself that you don't like. If you don't want to watch yourself, chances are most people aren't going to watch yourself either. Fucking live a little. Exactly. Exactly. Like it is really difficult to be that critical of yourself and then still have the motivation to fix it. It's like, I really think it's an important thing to do. Like, we've talked about it before. It's actually one of our topics right here. It's community. I mean, that's where I think a lot of streamers lose focus, is the community that they're a part of. And your community should be the number one place where you get feedback from. You know, you should have your mods talking to you about what you can do better or what you can do wrong, or, you know, what they've noticed in chat. Like if you don't have a group of people that you can get with and like talk about real shit and be real about it and be critical of each other, and like if you don't have that, you're missing out. You're absolutely missing out. Starting over after taking a break, I mean, it is hard, man. Callow, like, yeah, you know, I took a 1.5-month break. It's shorter than yours. Yeah, see, like Joe, like, exactly. If he raids someone else and his community doesn't like it, they'll tell him. You know, the fucking trailer park is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've broached this subject with a couple different people about the idea of like it, because remember we talked a little bit about like the idea of why should somebody stay and watch you. And I've talked to people. I'm like, look, you have a Discord. How many people are in your Discord? That's 50, 100, 200 people that you can ask why they watch you. Like, get feedback for, like, I mean, why not? If they care enough about you to not only watch you but also be in your Discord and interact in your Discord, why not ask them what they like, what they like about the stream and what they don't like? I mean,
value their opinion too, you know, like listen to what they're saying. Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I think that for most people, especially if you're coming back from a break, Callow, that basically means you're starting over from scratch. Like, the number one thing that you need to be doing is being consistent with the schedule that you have and valuing every last person who comes into your community. And you kind of also got to be really good at pushing your shit. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to be able to say, like, follow me on Twitter, please. Follow me on Instagram, please. You know, find me here on this thing and find me there on that thing. And that way you can engage more often than you're online. You know, than you're live streaming is what I mean. Like Callow knows these things. I don't know. I'd like I don't know if he's being facetious about like not having any viewers, but like I remember watching your streams, man. Like you didn't do anything like that you're saying now. I don't know.
It sounds like Cal is a little bit self-deprecating, like I am. Is what my guess is.
Maybe you should fucking live a little. You know what I mean? and that may sound like a dick kind of thing to say, but like I'm serious, dude. Like stop focusing on your average viewers and like genuinely try to conduct your stream in a way that you have fun. And I mean, for so many people, that just means like I'm gonna have fun playing this game, but not really. You know, have fun by like maybe playing a crazy song and singing along to it, Killa, or you know. Doing a voice changer like my good friend Killa does, or doing a voice changer while singing a song. I mean, like that stuff that's not game related, but it's really Killa.
There we go. Nailed it.
It's something that is different. It's something that's going to catch people. It's going to engage people. You know, have like let's see here. Like you could do something crazy. Like you could have a really weird overlay. Right? I mean, you could do things like putting up a ridiculous picture of Fat Man spitting on himself. I mean, people
be a floating head like Angry Iceberg.
Yeah, a big floaty head. You know, people enjoy engaging with the weird and the strange, and you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff is really important, I think, to like kind of separate yourself, kind of create this like I'm unique, I'm this other thing. I don't know.
Or maybe that thing that keeps that person who pops in, like even if you're like they come in, they give you a minute to entertain them, and that may be the thing that keeps them there for 5 minutes, and then they'd see kind of a little bit more about you, and they're like, hey, this is somebody I might want to hang out with a bit.
Exactly. People being like using CGI faces for the stream. I mean, you know, Dr. Disrespect puts on a costume. If I play, you know, Sea of Thieves, I'll put on my pirate outfit. You know, Fat Man's got a mullet wig. I've got American flag bandana. Like you know, finding ways to just kind of still remain yourself, but like separate yourself from the rest of the streams out there, and find ways to like genuinely engage your channel and your viewers in your chat. Like Joe says, like he has no idea who's watching. Only those who are interactive does he notice during the stream, you know, until the end of the stream, or like the next morning. Like I just feel like, you know, so many people think I'm only successful if there's like X number of people in my channel, but like a stream that's successful is a stream that the people are talking in your chat. it's such a weird kind of idea, but you know, you could stream and be the best streamer in the world to nobody, and your stream would still be successful. You know, like you have to kind of really like redefine the way you're thinking of success. If you want partnership, if partnership is like your thing, then that's a whole different set of goals than for someone who's just doing their hobby and trying to have fun. You know, versus someone who's, you know, less about focusing on partnership and numbers and more about I want to build a community, or I want to you know, spread awareness for this particular charity, or I want to do speed runs in this game, or you know, I want to broadcast myself making lunch and eating mayonnaise out of my belly button. Like who the fuck cares? Like regardless of your content, what you should be focusing on is
that's real life too, everyone.
No, yeah, we done seen that. The IRL directory is scary. Let me just say that it's a great place, but it is scary.
It's a weird place. It's definitely a weird place. That's for sure.
You need to see that, Fots. Well, there's a donate button, and we can discuss prices. I'm kidding. I would not do that for money. I would do that for free. Maybe not for free. I don't know. I don't know if I want that out there. The mayonnaise guy on Twitch should be you should just be able to find him. He eats mayonnaise, like he lives in mayonnaise. That's all he does is sit on his stream. Mayonnaise. All right, dude. Have a good day, bud. Calla wasn't saying I was doing anything wrong per se. Early days of mixing and regulars don't want to come over, and I mean that's something else. Like I'm not too happy with those kind of people who say like, I'm gonna stay on Twitch, I'm not gonna follow you to Mixer. It's like you're not gonna type mixer.com instead of twitch.com because that's the only thing really dividing us is the web address you're typing in. I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, that just goes back to like at the end of the day, like there are people who used to watch me when I had 20 viewers. I mean, 20 follows that don't watch me now. And like at the end of the day, you've just got to understand as a content creator that that's going to happen. That you're going to lose people along the way. And sometimes it's going to be something you had control over. Sometimes it's going to be stuff you have no control over. But you just have to understand, like, it's so funny to me. Like, I've been in people's streams who got partnered, and then people are like, well, I'm not going to watch you anymore because you got too big. And to me, that's like one of the craziest like ideas. To me, I'm like, wait a minute. So my content was fine when I was trying to get partnered. I'm partnered and my content hasn't changed at all, but now I'm too big for like
fucking Twitch hipster.
It like I was like, that's legitimately your argument for no longer watching this particular caster. I'm like, you know what? Then they're better off without you.
Yep.
Like, because you're obviously not watching for the caster at that point. Like, if you're if a caster having success is why you stop interacting with them, then I got nothing for you. Like, at the end of the day, like, everybody, regardless of what they're doing, wants to be successful. And I like, to me, seeing somebody being successful, I'm like, yay. If your response is, ew, I'm like, all right, good riddance. Like,
yeah.
So that once again, that goes back to like, that's one of the things that's sometimes hard to get used to is the fact that there are going to be people that are around that disappear, and you're going to wonder what happened to them.
See, like, do you know what the term churn is? Churn.
No.
It is the natural rotation of people in and out. So,
gotcha. Like kind of like a butter churn.
Sure, but it's also like a restaurant. Like if you worked at a restaurant, you know what turn and burn is.
Sure. Yeah.
Basically, it means like you wanna get these people fed and paid and out and new people in.
Sure.
Churn, like there's a natural churn, and I believe I heard this from Professor Broman, so don't quote me as being the originator here, but he said that every 20 minutes, 60% of your chat leaves and comes back, and 60% of new people come back in. Like there's a natural churn of like what your chat is like. So every 20 minutes is supposed to be a completely new set of people, almost a completely new set of people every 20 minutes. Maybe that's true for him specifically as big as he is, but I think that concept scales down as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Like people are going to come in and they're going to hang out for 20 minutes or so, the natural usual average time set. Maybe it's more or less depending on the size of your channel, but you have to realize that like if you sit down and stream for 6 hours, you're very rarely going to get someone in there for the entire 6 hours hanging out with you. That's just that's a completely unrealistic viewpoint. So like if you think about it in terms of like people churning, coming in and out of there, like you are basically streaming for a new set of people every 20 minutes, you know what I mean? Absolutely. Or every X amount of minutes, whatever it happens to be. You should be able to check on that. And that's where consistency comes in. Exactly, Joe. Like if you are a person who can stream for 6 hours, then you're going to be doing better than the guy streaming for 2 or 2.5. And that's just basic, easy, obvious arithmetic. I don't know. Like just being there. That's consistency, and you're always going to have a better chance of maintaining and creating and establishing a community the longer you're there. And consistency will solidify that growth, because the same person you were at the beginning of the stream is the same person you are at the end of the stream. And regardless of the people who are there to watch you, you are delivering the same product consistently, constantly, over and over and over again. I mean, it's difficult to look at this for some people as like a business, but that's really what it is. You are a television show. Mm-hmm. You are broadcaster, an entertainer, you're a video producer, you're a graphics artist, you're a sound engineer, you're a social media manager, all these things. Like you are basically an entire TV show. That's who you are as a broadcaster. And if you don't have that mindset, if you think about it, you know, like you try to tell yourself like, well, the numbers don't matter, and you know, it's all about just having fun. Like, that's fine. That's your hobby. That's cool. That's where it'll end. A successful hobbyist will find a way to make money through their hobby in order to pay for more of their hobby. To me, that's a successful hobbyist. If that's your job, if that's what you want to do, streaming, great. You know, it's especially if you're on Twitch, because Twitch gives you the option to monetize quickly, and like, you know, that's what you want to do. But if you're like pushing for partnership, you want to make content creation your career. You know, we can get into like a lot more of that if that's what's going on. But like, I think that you need to be consistent. You need to stick to your schedule the same way you would stick to your schedule if it was your job. You know, if it's a business, if you're doing jury duty, you got to be there. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of commitment that you need to stick to. And if you got to cut shit out of your life, if you got to cut shit, like, I don't watch TV anymore. I don't like I used to like really love watching all the new movies that came out. I don't do that anymore. I used to sleep for 10 hours a night. Now it's 6, you know, that's 4 hours that I don't need, that I can now stream at if that's what I want to do. I mean, scheduling and consistency is going to get you there. If you have the capacity to be super entertaining and engage your chat, it'll keep you growing. So there's a lot of different stuff going on. Me personally, things changed for me when I started thinking about this as a career, as a business, than just a hobby. So, I mean, maybe it's different for other people. I'd love to hear your input. Joe says, my mindset is I don't take no for an answer. I will be what I want to be, and that should be the way for everyone. I agree, man. I agree. Destiny hotfix, yo. Thanks, Killa. They hotfixing the Nightfall drops?
Yes.
Very cool.
Woo!
I know. Like, I talk to Killa on a regular basis. We've actually kind of put together a little bit of a streaming content creatoring group. We call it Not Really a Stream Team, because it's not really a stream team. But like, we get together daily, weekly, usually a couple times a day. Like, we talk about what's happening in our channels. We talk about, you know, ways that we've noticed that, you know, you suck and we want you to fix, to like stop sucking. Like we've committed to helping each other, even if that means saying the ugly thing or saying the difficult thing. I think it's really important to have a community. No matter how in depth you want to go in that community is up to you. You generally get out of it what you put into it. But creating a place where I can say to someone, you know, tell me what I'm doing wrong, and they'll tell me the truth. You know what I mean? Like, if you, like, there's been stream teams and groups that I've been part of where it's like I will sign off and I'll be like, yeah, that was good, and then ask someone like, how did you think the stream was today? And they'll be like, it was good. It's like, thanks, you know, but that's not helping me get better. That's not helping me improve. Like It was good. Okay, well, you know, what was good? What can be better? Like, tell me more, you know. And you can't expect that from just your average like stream team of people, you know. Like, I needed to find a place where people would tell me like, yo, slap me upside the head with what I did wrong so that tomorrow I won't do that again. You know, tell me what it is I can do better so that tomorrow it'll be better. And if every day gets better, then every day I'm going to see improvement. I'm going to see more engagement. I'm going to see, you know, I like watching your VODs is great, but if you have a solid crew of people that you respect and they can say, yo, this is how you get better, like, that is more valuable than anything else as far as like offline support, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to the whole idea of feedback in general. Like, for some reason, there's this thing that apparently people think there's positive and negative feedback, and that's not what feedback is. Feedback is just like, feedback inherently is good because the intention behind it is to make it better. And if you're calling something negative feedback, it means you're either not agreeing with what they're saying and you're choosing to not to accept it.
Yeah.
Or it's not actually feedback, it's just somebody being negative. Like, feedback inherently is good. So like if somebody says, hey, I like this, but that but isn't negative. It's, hey, this is what I think can make you even better. And the problem is so many people are just like, well, I know what I'm talking about, or, oh, they're saying something that bothers me, so it's negative. When
Right.
in reality, it's coming from a place of, I think this will help you be better.
And
you
also,
just have to change your mindset around it. That's all.
I think also that it really matters who is saying it too. You know what I mean? If it's someone that you don't respect, if it's someone that you don't agree with, then it's going to be more difficult to accept. If it's coming from someone that like has your respect and like that you think that you value their opinion, then regardless of whether it's positive or negative, it's still going to be taken to heart.
Well, yeah, and that goes back to the idea. Like, I love your idea of like having your not a stream team. Like, I think that's a very especially. I mean, I think that's a great idea for any group or any caster to have like that, like support with 2 or 3 people that will pat you on the back when you're doing well, but isn't afraid to say, hey, look.
Yeah, your ass smells, so wash it.
Exactly.
As Joe Dirte so succinctly put it. The BFG says one of the biggest things he struggles with is keeping the chatter up. I'm new to streaming, been doing it less than 3 months. I hate my streams. I feel like I look bored and don't talk enough. I improve a little each time I stream by watching the VODs, and I think that's really important. If you don't have people who are constantly there to help you, like, the Not Really Stream Team guys are in my chat, at least one of them every day, and I try to be in at least one of their streams as often as I can every day as well. That's kind of part of our support structure. But like, if I do something super fucking wrong, they will tell me and they will let me know, and I expect that. You know what I mean? And that's because we've all agreed, we've all committed to each other to like do this and help each other out. It's really important. Like, I think for anyone, even if it's just like, for instance, like I created this thing called Bright Light Gaming, and what that is it's not a streaming community. It's not a community based around streams. It is a community based around gaming. And if you're a gamer, then that place is great for you because you'll find other gamers there, and those people will have opinions, and they'll have LFG channels, and they'll have places where you can discuss this or that or get into the lore or like whatever. It's a place where gamers go to do gamer stuff. And if you're a streamer, then you're usually inherently you're already a gamer, so that's a place where you could fit in, find a gaming community of places that support the games that you play. But also, if you're a streamer, like, don't be afraid to join stream teams and like look for places and look for people and look for opportunities to where like you can improve. And it's super easy to just kind of like, hey, how was stream today? Oh, it was good, thanks. Now I feel like I'm doing good, and I don't know, like that doesn't help. That's not helping. I would rather someone say, yo, everything about your stream is wrong and here's why, rather than someone saying it was good.
Yeah,
it was good. What did Sheru say? BFG has improved over time that he's watched. Like everything else, it's a lot easier for people to engage with you. It's one of the reasons why I go into a channel and chat. I turn into my life story channel, as it helps spark conversation. And I think being a good viewer is also a major part of being a good streamer. If you don't go engage in other people's channels and be the best viewer you can in their channels, they're not gonna come do that for you, and you're not gonna understand like, the dichotomy of viewer versus streamer. I don't know. I've always pushed people to like go be like, that's kind of like what networking is really. If you're talking about live streaming and networking, like your job, if you're networking with other streamers, is to go be the best viewer you possibly can. You know what I mean? Don't do it for selfish reasons. Don't do it to push your shit. Don't do it to be like, I'm here to like push my channel. No, if you're truly networking the right way, you are joining their community as a community member only, with only the desire to enjoy yourself in their community. That's it. After that happens, it'll be super easy for people to realize that you're a streamer, especially if you're streaming. It's like it's not like you need that extra jump. If you join someone's community and you love their community, they're gonna find out that you stream, and that's going to become a natural engagement there. Like, don't push that. Definitely don't push that.
And if you host somebody, please do not get upset if they don't shout you out. Please, for the love of God.
Oh, dude, that's another thing too. Like,
just as a general rule, like in my channel, if you host me, I shout you out. But not everybody does that. If you host people that don't know you, they're probably not going to do that.
yeah.
And if you get upset by that, it just looks bad for you. Like, the only person who looks bad in that situation is you. You look like an entitled brat.
Something else too is like,
it infuriates me when that happens.
If someone raids you, like you're streaming for your regular crew, like say you've got 10 viewers, let's just say you've got your regular 10 hanging out with you, and then someone raids you with 300. You know, like, do you think it's really important for you to shout that person out, the person who just raided you? Like, I think it's important for you to say thank you and that you appreciate the raid, but it's like those 300 people are already following this particular streamer, and like maybe you could say something to like your 10 regulars, like, guys, you know, we just got raided by this big ass channel and this person's fucking awesome. You should definitely go consider giving them a follow. But it's like, if someone drops like 10 times the amount of viewers that you already have, like, shouting them out just seems pointless. You know what I mean? Their community's there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my thing always goes back to what Oris says, which is expect nothing and appreciate, or expect no one and appreciate everyone.
Yes.
And like to me, like people who are like the whole follow for follow, or hey, you followed me on Twitter and then you didn't follow me. I followed you on Twitter and you didn't follow me back, so you unfollowed and then you did it again, thinking that's gonna make me want to follow you or anything like that. like that whole phenomenon and stuff drives me crazy. Just like the whole idea of, well, if I host you, you're supposed to shout me out.
Right. Like the only reason why I'm hosting you, Mr. Partnered Streamer, is so you'll shout me out on your channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just happen to shout out everybody because I'm like, that's my MO. That's just what I do. But yeah, that whole idea of like, I've seen people, including friends of mine, and I've sent them messages afterwards, like where they're in their Discord and they're like, yeah, we host this guy and they didn't even care enough to shout me out. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, what is wrong? Like, you host, the idea is to host them because you're sharing your community with their community.
Yes.
Like, that's the intent of a host. Like, this is somebody I like, this is somebody I enjoy, or this is somebody I think you'll enjoy. So here, let me show you to them. And then to be like, oh, well, they didn't turn around and shout me out or send them back. Like, maybe they don't know you, maybe they're not comfortable. Like, who cares? Like, if you have a question, shoot them a message. Like, oh my god, that's like one of my huge pet peeves.
I mean, like, that's kind of in the same vein as like the follow for follow Twitch accounts and Twitter accounts and Facebook accounts. And I mean, like I would even go as far as to say like the hashtag like support smaller streamers and the hashtag open tabs matter. Like honestly, all that shit's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, that's all, to me, that's all bullshit. Like, a follow for follow doesn't mean you're watching me. You know, and I'm not going to get any better. I'm not going to grow as a streamer if you're not watching me. You know, like, I'm not going to grow my community if I don't make a connection with you.
Well, and it goes back to what Joe was saying. Like, who cares if you have 1 million followers if nobody's watching you?
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
Like, that's the first thing when somebody comes in and goes, hey, I just checked out your stream. I think, like, it's always that canned, like, response. Hey, I just checked out your stream. You're pretty good. I dropped your follow. Hopefully you'll do the same to me. And I'm just like,
it's like
I'm like, here, let me explain it. If you're still in chat by some chance, like, let me explain to you how this doesn't work and how you should go about networking to try to improve or help your stream.
Yes. Like, it's like, I can tell you that you copy pasted that all over like probably 15 other streams right now.
Yep. Exactly, at least. Yeah.
But yeah, like you know, like if you're using hashtag support smaller streamers, to me, that's just like shouting out like, look at me, I'm a smaller streamer, you should come support me, and not you saying, I will support smaller streamers.
Yeah, right? I mean, and I've that particular phrasing I've always hated anyways. Like, I've always been a believer that if that's what you're going to use, tell me you're a growing streamer, not a smaller streamer.
Yeah, you will stay a smaller streamer.
Yeah, like, support growing streamers. At least I can be like, okay, I'm okay with the at least concept behind that.
Right, doing that for sure.
But like, if you think of yourself as a smaller streamer, you're always going to be a smaller streamer. Like,
I mean, the whole like open tabs matter thing, like, I get it. Yeah, I get the idea behind that, especially if you're one of those people who are like you're pushing for partnership and you want those lurkers, you want those lurkers like to help you or whatever. Like, I can see where that would be a benefit for that push. But what's going to happen is you're going to push there, get partnered, and those people are going to disappear because it's no longer the point of them being there. You know what I mean? And you're not learning anything. You're not growing. You're not learning to engage with that number of people. Like, it's not really like there's 400 people in your channel. It's really more like there's 50. You know, and if there's only 50 people in your channel and you're like maintaining that particular level, that's the level that you can engage with. If there's actually 400 people that show up, you're going to be fucking lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to learn how to manage that number of people. If you're trying to push for partner, if you're trying to get to where you're doing this as your career and you're like making money and it's your business and that's how it's working, you know, you don't want it to be like, you know, like there's not really that many people there and you don't really know how to engage that number of people in your chat. Like, that'd be a terrible thing. That'd be a terrible thing.
Joe's right there with the hashtag.
Dude, like I don't have any particular like rule, but I try to keep it to where like I only @ the relevant stuff, and I only hashtag the relevant stuff if it's in the tweet, if it makes sense. Like, I will hashtag Skyrim if I'm playing Skyrim, or I will @ Far Cry if I'm going to play Far Cry, or I will @ my streaming community that I'm a part of. But like, you're not going to see me doing like, you know, @ the Elder Scrolls and @ Skyrim this and @ Skyrim that and @ this person and @ that person and then hashtag. Here's my channel. Like people. Oh my gosh, dude.
Like, if people will retweet you if they want to, so if they see it, or if they like, if they see it and choose to retweet you, that's one thing. But if you're like tagging people, like, eventually, like the first time, most people will be like, okay, this person's trying to get my attention, da 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 da. But like, if you're constantly like tagging people, all that's gonna do is get you muted or blocked.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
you're actually hurting yourself.
And I've heard it from the horse's mouth. Like, people like Gathalion and Broman have both said, like, if you are just adding me for attention, you get muted right away. And like, then that, no matter how relevant you become, if you do become relevant in the future, no matter how relevant that is, they're never going to see your shit again. You've already closed that avenue off because you're like trying to skip the step of like being relevant. You're trying to use their name to make yourself more relevant. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
This has quickly turned into the, hey, well, this is what you're doing wrong with your stream.
I mean, hey, you know what?
I called it an hour ago.
We've got half an hour. Like,
totally fine.
Yeah.
That's funny.
We've got half an hour, and usually we open it up to question and answer at this point, anyways. So.
Then let's do it.
Anyone's diggity down. Talk about the stuffs. This is the time to do it. And I think BFG is right. Like, I've seen people do that multiple times. Like, they'll come in with a host, you know, so that like, hey, you know, I'm hosting, and then, you know, the streamer's gonna shout me out, and then I'm gonna go host somebody else, and then that streamer's gonna shout me out, and I'm gonna go host somebody else, and maybe that streamer will shout me out too, and then like, that's their idea of networking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a real thing. I've definitely seen it.
No, I've heard about it. I don't think I've experienced it, or if I have, we probably haven't shouted the person out. Just because, like, generally I'm like, yeah, shout that person out. But if it's somebody new, I'm like, oh, well, tell me about yourself. Tell me about your stream.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not familiar. And if they can't tell me anything, we don't shout them out. Like, because they've either left or they were just in there to get followers. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not familiar with your stream. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I like this right here.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine those assholes are. They look just like this guy right here. Little Ralph Wickham. Eyewitnesses, as a viewer watching a stream, went through 6 streamers in 20 minutes just writing the host. Just let the tab open and see how long it went on. Yo, Killa. Yeah, you get.
Yeah, I see it.
You know, okay. That's your mama. Hey, mama.
Oh, no, I do like the name 2midnut886.
That's weird. Was he trying to say 2 mid nuts? Or humid nut, maybe? Humid nut? That's like how I live my life in Florida, with a humid nut. One thing I want to go back to, and listen, guys, listen. There's gonna be a bow and arrow in Destiny 2, so
I'm not gonna lie. I literally squealed.
I did too.
When I saw the bow and arrow, I was watching the reveal with a buddy of mine. We were in PSN chat watching it, and literally the bow showed up, and I like squealed. I was like, I was so excited about it. Like,
dude,
oh my gosh!
I play games with bow and arrows in it, as kind of like,
me too.
I fucking love it. Skyrim, Far Cry 3, 5, Horizon Zero Dawn, like that's
Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning.
Yes, that's dude, like the bow and arrow, that's my jam, you know?
Yeah.
And like Destiny has always missed that for me. And now that it's there, it's like I will probably have a triple bow loadout, and you guys can fuck off, because that's what I'm playing with.
Guess who's not raiding with us anymore? Sneak peek.
Listen. I'm gonna be proficient with them as well, so you're gonna be lucky to have me.
No, I was laughing. T-Rex yesterday tweeted. He was like, "Oh my God, the Valiant's gonna come into raid with 3 shotguns."
You know he is too. Of course he is.
But yeah, I mean, I always give this disclaimer. Like, I grew up playing Halo games. Like, those were my first FPS games. Like, I'm a huge Bungie fan.
Right.
Although recently I've been accused of being anti-Bungie, which is hilarious. In one chat, I got accused by one person of being anti-Bungie and one person of riding Bungie's jockstrap. So I figured I was doing it right if I was being accused by both sides in one of my chats. But like I've been really pretty gung-ho and happy with the Warmind DLC, and I would be lying if the Forsaken information didn't bring me a lot of excitement. Like I'm always cautiously optimistic. Like, I still want to see what weapon slot changes look like, and how that is going to work out.
Yeah.
But the idea of new supers is incredibly exciting. The bow is exciting.
New raid. Couple of new spaces.
Yeah, a raid that is actually a space that you can explore. So like you can do the raid, but there's actually
too.
Yeah, exactly. The first week raid is going to look different than the fourth week. Like that whole idea is super exciting. A Gambit, I was already amped about Guardian Con, and I'm already like, all right, I got my VIP pass. I'm gonna be lying first thing so I can try Gambit out on Friday morning.
Yes.
Like Guardian Con. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
I was excited about the bow, and then they announced that I almost jumped out of my seat. So I mean, there's a lot of I'm super excited about Destiny and the future of Destiny. I'm always cautious just because there's certainly been things Bungie have told us, and then it came out, and we were like, "What the hell is this? What is going on?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things to potentially be positive about. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. But
yeah,
I mean, at this point, I'm feeling very confident.
I'm hopefully
going into
optimistic.
the fall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like there's definitely a lot of good things that they released. They did it in the right way. They were very transparent about what they had going on, and I think that more than anything else, what makes me excited, besides the bow and arrow, of course, is just the fact that they've given us the things we asked for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was worried about the weapon system, right? I was worried that they're gonna just go well, screw this, we'll go back to D1. And I was also worried they were gonna be you can't have anything that you want. This is the new thing, and it's something completely different. What they did was they're you can do what you want now. And I've always thought that was the best way to go about it. I should be able to pick 3 guns, no matter what they are, and put them in my fucking loadout and use them the way that I want to. Like that, to me, that's always been the optimal solution, and they totally went that direction. So
sure,
super excited about that.
Yeah,
it's the fact that they're listening to the community, and they're making changes according to what we want. They're not afraid to break the game. People are always talking about, do you remember Prometheus Lens when it broke PvP? I'm like, yeah, that was the best week of PvP ever.
You notice nobody's complaining when it's like Mayhem Week, right?
Right.
Where everybody's like, blow everything up!
Exactly.
Like,
It's like, balance is boring. Don't balance this game. If there's something that's OP, give it something to compete with it.
Well,
don't nail it down to everyone else's level. You know, raise something else up to compete with that. You know, make it to where it's fun. Jesus Christ, it's a video game.
Well, the perfect example is Destiny 2 PvP. Everybody just kept bitching and bitching and First it was, auto rifles are too powerful. Then it's like, shotguns and snipers are too powerful.
Yeah, then it was, I don't like the Thorn.
The Thorn's too powerful. Sidearms are too powerful. And then we get what everybody was complaining about for Destiny 2 and PvP, and everybody's like, man, this is balanced. It kind of sucks. It's like, yeah, no kidding. like oh my god, like everybody bitches and complains, and then Bungie would do what everybody asked for. Although I do like there was an explanation that was made that I thought was kind of funny. And they described Bungie as being like really crappy genies. So you ask for something and they give you kind of the opposite. I think it was Say No to Rage he was talking about this one night.
Okay. And
he's like, so everybody goes, all right, we want primaries to matter again. And they're like, okay.
Have two of them. Yeah.
Have two of them. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was like the great explanation of like the lack of communication from Bungie and the community, where it's like the community is saying this, so they're like, okay, well, what we're gonna do is sort of take part of what you said, but not give you what you want.
Yeah, and I like, honestly, like, I think that balance is boring. They gave us what we asked for. Everything that people bitched about at the end of D1, they quote unquote fixed for D2. They just fixed it the wrong way. You know, they took things away from you instead of giving you something more. Yeah. And I mean, like, for instance, like, just to kind of, you know, point some fingers directly, it is the fucking, it was the weapon system that most people got pissed off about because there were no random rolls. But if you think about what people bitched about in D1, it was like, I can't get a god roll, or this god roll is too powerful, or I'm, you know, like everyone should have the same options to get the same weapon. So what did they do? They gave everyone the same weapon.
Yeah.
You know, now it's not about how lucky you got on the drop for this particular weapon, but how good you can become as a player with it. And everyone has the same base. Everyone has the same start, and you can all get good with the better devils, or you can not, you know, because everyone has the same better devils.
Yeah. No, exactly. Well, and then it was the whole issue. Once again, like, this is where I get critical about Bungie, is like, you give us, you added things that the community asked for in D1, and then when D2 launched, you didn't have them. Like, there wasn't private matches. Like private, like while I'm not the biggest PvP guy, like private matches like extend the life of games.
I agree. Yes.
And like that would have been something to me that would have been super easy to include in D2, or should have been, and it wasn't included. And it's kind of like, I was like, so not only are you giving us a different game that has less to do in it, but you're also pulling out stuff that the community had asked for that you realized was a mistake not to include, and then you didn't include it again.
Honestly,
so, like,
I don't know, man.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like stepping back and looking at the release of Destiny 2 as a whole, I feel like people lose sight of the fact that like the team that started working on Destiny 2 started after the release of The Taken King. You know, they didn't get the game. The end of D1 is not like where they began. Like they began long before D1 quote unquote got good, right? Yeah. And like I feel like maybe they were disconnected too much. They ended up like wiping off like half of their directors, or half the people who were working on the game ended up leaving. I feel like we're not going to see Bungie put out anything like D2 as a new release ever again. I think they know that, you know, they were in a certain position and they had to make certain good on certain parts of their contracts in order to continue working. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot more behind the scenes rather than like, you know, because like ideally you want to think that they're sitting in their studio and the only thing that's motivating them is making the game the best they can.
Sure.
When really, like, what's motivating them is, like, they've got contracts and they've got paychecks and they've got, you know, payroll to do and they've got people to hire, and there's, like, a whole fucking load more of shit to deal with that is, you know, less than, that is, like, you know, less important than, like, maybe releasing the best possible game ever, because they had to get something out there. They got screwed. They ended up, like, not having the team that started the game finish the game. So, like, there's a lot of things that they had to kind of adapt for, and keeping that in mind, considering that altogether, I feel like Destiny 2, the vanilla release, was actually a lot better than I expected, knowing what was happening in the background. As a base game, they nailed it. It's beautiful, the mechanics are great, it looks awesome, it plays well. They just didn't have the time, or didn't have the team, or didn't have the whatever it takes to make it the Forsaken level. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like we should have gotten what is being released as the Forsaken as what should have been the vanilla game.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the way I look at it, kind of the same way. Like, my initial thoughts were, hey, it's prettier than Destiny 1. And I was like, yay. And I was like, oh, it's got more story than Destiny. I was like, yay. And then we got to like the main story, and then it's like, oh, and now I don't have anything to do, just like Destiny 1.
Right.
So like for me, it's like, okay, we improved upon basics of vanilla Destiny 1, making it prettier, better story, or at least a little bit more coherent story. And then we got to, but then they made the same mistakes, and the end game wasn't as thought out as it should have been, based on D1. And then on top of that, because of the design choices they made with, like, the lack of random rolls, I'm drawing a blank. But, like, things like lack of random rolls and stuff just shortened that in-game.
The mod system. There you go.
Yeah, the mod system wasn't as complete. So, like,
lack of skill trees there, yeah.
Yeah, so basically what they did was they improved on 2 of the parts of the original Destiny, which is what made it look cleaner and crisper to begin with.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, the thing that made D1 vanilla worth grinding for wasn't there. And that's why the blowback was so big for the whole thing. So, like, that, I mean, that was my thing. But and then they put out Osiris, and say what you want about God, what was it, the Dark Below or whatever. But, like, Osiris was brutal. I still haven't. I played it on Xbox and PS4. And I still haven't completed the Osiris story on one character on PS4. Like, it's just brutal.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, and they took, and once again, and then it goes back to, you got, like, as much as you don't want to, you're comparing one game to another.
Exactly.
So, like, Fortnite kind of blew up, and all of a sudden, Epic's, like, doing, like, balance changes, like, weekly. They're correcting issues weekly, and then you just have this silence from Bungie for, like, extended periods of time, which, of course, just serves to, like, infuriate people even more, because they're like, Epic can do it, why can't Bungie do it? And, like, even though you and I both know, like what Destiny's built on versus what Fortnite's built on is totally different, and like, I think we can all agree that the lack of reaction by Bungie, like, I don't think it would have been as fast as Fortnite, but, like, some of these things that started coming out with Osiris, it's like, oh my god, it took this long. Like, the Go Fast update, it took you that long to try to fix Crucible? Like,
yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Right. Well, I think another thing there, too, though, is, you know, a lot of people expected so much out of Destiny 2.
Sure.
When they forget that the original Destiny took, you know, a lot longer to put together and write and build than they had for. You know, D1 took a lot longer than they had for D2, and D2 itself was rushed because they had to meet a deadline to ensure that we would even have this game.
Yeah.
Going forward, I think.
And I mean, like, I don't want to get
so
into
they had to buy time
Yeah.
And now, you know, we're kind of getting what, you know, everybody, you know, now we're getting the quote game we should have had in the first place. But people forget or don't understand that it takes a long time to properly code a game,
especially one as in depth and as you know, I don't know, like just like trying to keep up with the original
feature heavy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keeping up with like the original Destiny.
We want so much as a community, as a Destiny community.
Yeah.
We want so much out of Destiny, and like there's nothing wrong with us wanting that. And I just think it has taken this long for Bungie to say, okay, we can get it and get it out to them. And now is like when the fun starts.
I agree.
Like I'm okay with it, and people are, you know, upset. You know, well, you know, we should have had this game, you know, all along, or, you know, why am I paying $70 for a game I should have had last year?
Oh,
you know
man,
what?
I don't want to get into the money thing.
Yeah, calm the fuck down. It's video games cost money to make.
Yeah, I mean that's infuriating. I mean, I don't mind getting anything. For anybody who's complaining about the DLC, here's my thought. Taken King was $39.99. Guess what? Forsaken's $39.99. Annual pass is $30. It covers 3 DLCs at $10 a piece. Stuff costs money, and
I mean, even the previous season pass was $30 for 2 DLCs.
Exactly. Like by comparison, I understand people reacting to the price tag, but if you break it down based on what DLCs have been by Bungie for this game, all of it makes perfect sense. The $89.99 version is only if you want cosmetic stuff, so don't spend the extra $20 if you don't want to. But like to me, anybody who's shocked by the price tag, either she is just totally oblivious and ignoring what the previous DLCs look like, or they just want to be angry.
Yeah, well, also, I mean, I like to look at things. I like to take a step back and try to get a different perspective. And I said it on Twitter, and it's like, if you spend $70 for the Forsaken and the annual pass, you're looking at almost an entire year worth of content. Okay,
correct.
Almost an entire year worth of content, and you're paying $70 for that. If you spend 70 hours playing that game, which is completely doable. And for most people, you're gonna like probably do 10 times that much, but like you're paying $1 an hour.
Yeah.
Like $1 an hour, right? Even if you're talking about Joe Dierte, three platforms, so what? Okay, then you're paying like $3 an hour. What kind of, like, you'll go to the movies and you'll spend a 50 spot easy on you and your date's ticket plus some popcorn and some drinks. That's $50 that you're gonna spend for 2 hours of entertainment. For 2 hours of entertainment. If you think about how many times you stopped at Starbucks and got you a triple foamy frothy fucking latte, you do that 10 times and you spent more money on lattes than you have a video game. And the video game is like replayable almost indefinitely. That's the whole point of the online in-game style AAA titles that we're seeing regularly nowadays, is that you can play it forever.
Yeah. I'm not gonna try to maintain 3 platforms coming up. I don't think.
Yeah.
And if I do, it's going to be staggered.
Slowly,
like, I'm going to make sure the first, it'll obviously the first 3 months, will be on PC, and then we'll see what happens after that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I was surprised by the reaction to the price by people to the prices for the DLCs. Based on, like, I mean, if you want to be upset about it, be upset about it. But like, based on everything we've seen previously, I thought that they were all exactly what I would have expected.
I agree, man.
Especially based on what they were saying was going to be included.
Yo, Sloppy
so,
Joe.
Like that for me was the big thing about it. Like, I saw all these reactions and I was like, look, I understand you don't want to spend money. Like, if it was up to me, I would say, Bungie, give it to me for free, but I'm also a realist. Like, I know they have bills to pay.
Yeah, and I want them to be able to continue paying people so that the future content will keep coming out.
Exactly. So, like, yeah, so basically yesterday, after the reveal, I hopped off for a couple hours. I came back and started looking at Twitter, and people freaking out about the price. And I was legitimately surprised by the number of people freaking out about the price. Like, because that's exactly what I would have guessed. If you asked me how much they would have been, that would have been. In fact, if anything, I might have thought the annual pass would have been more, because I would have guessed it would have been 40 instead of 30, since it was going to include 3 DLCs.
Word. Yeah, dude. Like even if you don't spend 70 hours, it's well worth the investment. Even if you only spend 7 hours, because if you look at the studio and the people who are involved and the amount of time and effort and detail that's put into the game, like it's worth twice that easy.
Well, and if you don't think it's worth it, then don't buy it. Like, no, this is the other thing. Like, if you're that angry at Bungie and you think they're ripping you off that badly, then don't buy the DLC. But like, I have the hours to, like, I play this game conservatively across both platforms. Probably like evening streams, usually 4 to 5 hours. I'm usually on for 2 or 3 in the morning doing PS4 offline.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably conservatively right now, since Warmind dropped, been spending 7 to 8 hours a day. So, I mean, I've already basically the last 3 weeks alone, I've probably spent more hours on Destiny than the amount I paid for it. So,
dude, like it is so easy for people to nitpick the price, but I feel like you're getting so much more out of what you're what you're paying for, like more than just the game itself. Like, you are getting the opportunity to hang out and play with your friends at any point in time in the entire world.
yeah.
I mean, like, that to me is more valuable than any of the actual gameplay, I think.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree. So,
to break it down even further, we pay the same price as we paid in the 80s. Inflation is a thing, so that alone is already a win. I agree completely.
Yeah, you know, that's a really, really great point, actually. When you think about it, like, the actual price of games has not gone up very much since back then, which is indicative, like, you know, technology honestly doesn't cost a lot when you look at it. Like, what we pay today for technology versus what we paid, you know, 30 years ago is astronomically different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, a calculator back in the day was expensive. Now, you know, you can pick them up all day for $1.
Yeah, they get like pissed at the fucking dollar store. You got like a whole fucking, yeah. No, dude, like people are so easy to, like, you know, bitch about a price, but it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm more than willing to pay for a video game. Like any game that I want, I don't care. They can put $100 on it. I'm gonna pay for it if I want it. And, you know, maybe you guys shouldn't tell the fucking developers that, or whatever. Maybe you should. I don't know. But, like, what it comes down to for me is, like, it's well worth the investment every single time.
like I tell anybody anything about stuff, like it's all about what you're willing to pay for stuff. Like, I'm not going to go to Starbucks and spend $5 on a cup of coffee. I do not think a cup of coffee is worth that $5. But like, if you think about like a video game, say you spend $60 on a video game and you play that video game, just say 4 hours a week. 4 hours a week for a month. That's like 16 hours. That's like 3 trips to the movie, which is 6 hours of entertainment.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about what you care about and what you're willing to invest in. And like, to me, based on what I've seen, like, Destiny's worth investing in.
I mean, you know, even like what Fox just said, think about it like this. Like, he paid over $400 for his first megabyte of RAM. I just bought 16 gigs or two 8s for like $60 a piece.
$60.
Yeah.
2 8 gigs of RAM for $60 a piece.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why you were like, oh, let's not give it a price. I was like, look, I'm fine having that discussion. Like, I'm not afraid. Like we talked about, honest. Let's be honest. Let's be truthful. Like, people freaking out about the price. Sorry.
You're dumb.
There's really.
No, I'm not going to say you're dumb, but
No,
what
I
you're
am.
doing,
I am.
but fair enough. What I would say is because I remember like a week ago, people were like, "Oh yeah, Bungie might give it for free." I'm like, "Are you insane? Why would Bungie do that? Like they have to pay people."
Yeah, giving it to you for free. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Like I couldn't believe like somebody popped in my channel and said, "There's a rumor Bungie's going to give us the DLC for free," and I'm like, "Well, that rumor is fake." I was like, I'm not one to comment on rumors normally, but I was like, they have to feed their families. Like that's not how life works. Like, come on.
Word. Guys, we're talking with Buoyancy of Citrus. He is a Twitch streamer. He's fucking awesome. He's badass. If you guys love good content, go check him out. I'm not gonna say follow him, but you should go check him out and then decide to follow him. I bet you will, though. I can almost guarantee you will. He's also been dabbling on Mixer, so if you're one of those elitist fucks who won't change platforms, there you go. You can check him out on Mixer as well. I had a really good show today, guys. I am really happy with what we got going on. We're gonna be posting this on YouTube. It'll be uploaded on the Double Trouble YouTube channel. Let me just give you a quick link. Beat you to it. There's our Discord. You can jump in any day, anytime, discuss some things with us there. There's also a link to our YouTube. Once we get over 100 subs, we'll be able to get rid of that nasty bunch of letters and numbers and just have us just a regular username.
Nice.
Gonna get in the DMs.
Sub now.
Go sub now, bastards. Buoyancy, dude, thank you for your time, man. We'd love to have you back sometime in the future.
Oh, absolutely, man. It was a pleasure. Anytime.
Yeah, man, absolutely, like 100%. Killa, thank you for filling in for Fat Man. I know we kind of threw it at you
No worries, man.
last minute, dude.
It was fun. I did the best I could with what I had. And,
Dude, you did a great job, and I
I
appreciate
think we
you
had
being...
a good time, and I'll be happy to do it again should the need arise.
Absolutely, man. I'm really glad I can count on you.
Yeah, man.
Everybody in chat, thanks for being a part of the show. Make sure to go follow Killa as well as Buoyancy, and if you follow me, you know, I might give you your butt a touch next time I see you.
I love you, Joe.
Next time, make less sense. There you go.
I'll try to remember that.
Guys, but also thank you so much for being a part of this, and we're gonna end the stream today with a little bit of a song for you. I love it. I made it just for you guys. Actually, I didn't make it. I just found it, but it's just for you guys. Bye. Love you guys.
All right, man. Well, that was fun. I appreciate you having me.